it up. Look it up. It's a. I don't have to look it up. American. It's equal. Hold on. American. You're interrupting American. Me. You guys are interrupting me when it was my turn. I just want to know if you're American. I am American. I am American. Born in America. That's all I want to know. That's all. Were you born here? You're gross as fuck. Thank you. You're gross. So my husband is serving our country right now. So that's my fine. Son. That's fine. What are you doing? What are you doing? Nothing. Can I finish? You got your hand out, I'm sure. Can I finish? Thank you. Your hand out. What I was saying, it's disgusting. Somebody needs to drop her. She's rude. So what I'm saying to you, host, is it's a civil case. It's actually equal to like a parking ticket. Are you kidding me?
Well,
look at the law.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Hold on. Now y'all gonna have to have
exactly what it is. It's if you look at actually the laws of coming through non-port of entry, they are equal to. It's a civil case equal to entering through non-port of entry is equal to like a parking ticket. And you want to know why? Because that's how we stated it in 1952 when we put it in place for people who are allowed to come into this country seek asylum.
Okay, let me ask you this, Deja. One answer. Is it illegal the way they came into this country? Yes or no?
Is it against the law?
Is it against the law? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right, then. Thank you.
Okay. One question though. Sean, panel member. We want V to go. We're introducing another panel member. Hold your horses.
All right. Welcome back, Enrico Palazzo. Enrico Palazzo. Oh, whoa, what's going on with Enrico?
I think he's sleeping.
All right, let's come on back up when you're ready for us.
Click to mute me on someone who won't talk. Thank you. If I can finish. This is not your live, ma'am. If you don't like the way it's run, you may leave. I'm just trying to talk. Well, you're not the only one up here. Everybody wants to talk. No one else. Can I say something to you?
1 second. Hold on. Let me welcome
Rocket. Okay. I do own a small business fixing windshields, so that's why I go by Romulo Rocket.
Okay, y'all have some unusual names sometimes, but welcome to the panel, Rock Chip. Where you from?
I'm from Denver, Colorado.
Okay, what comes to your mind when you see that caption? I already know where you at, but come on, move. Let's see.
Well, first of all, let me start off by saying hello to everybody. And second thing I want to say is I'm indigenous. I'm a First Nations person, and I belong to the second biggest federally recognized tribe in the United States.
All right.
So you asked me what I thought when I see that flag upside down. When I see that flag upside down, I support it. And the reason why I support that flag being upside down is because of the fact that our country is so backwards, and our country is so in debt, and our country has given billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars to other countries. And basically, when they had that war over there when Saddam Hussein days or whatever, they knocked down the walls, and behind those walls there was billions of dollars of American money that was just sitting there behind the walls. And the other reason why I support that flag being upside down like that is because of the fact that in our culture, we have a thing called the Dakota 38, where they took indigenous Native American men over there in Minnesota and marched them to the gallows, and they hanged them from ropes for no reason, carrying that flag. Yep. They took black folks.
Whoa.
Yeah, okay, sir.
What do you call it?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so they took BLK folks, all right, and they marched them and beat them and did everything else, whatever they did to them, carrying that flag.
All right. Okay, I got you. Let me ask you this. You said America spent billions and billions and billions of dollars. Well, how much do you think was spent on those immigrants that came over here? illegally.
Just mute it.
Uh,
What was your question again?
how much do you think was spent on the illegal immigrants that came over here?
So here's the thing. Over here in Denver, we have a lot of people from Venezuela, Colombia, and basically
Yeah,
a few other
yeah.
places
How
that
much?
came over here.
How much do
So
you
you
think?
asked me how much I think was spent on them.
Yeah.
The thing is the government is giving them so much money. You know what I mean?
How
That
much?
they shouldn't be getting all that money. So I think that there's been millions of dollars that have been spent on those folks, and it shouldn't have been.
All
The
right.
thing is, but it's not. Sorry. What happened?
There's no government program that's funding an illegal group.
That's not true.
So
That's not
here's the
true.
thing. Look,
Oh,
I own that small business doing windshield.
they're funding migrants.
Ma'am,
Migrants
please
are
quit
legal.
interrupting.
But go ahead.
Can you please mute yourself just for a second, please, ma'am?
Come on, Rock Chip.
Okay. So here's the thing. I know what those folks are getting. Okay, because like I said, I own a small business doing windshield repair. I'm registered with the state of Colorado. I've been doing the same thing since 2008. I work at a full service hand wash car wash. Okay. Any full service car wash that you go to across the United States, I don't care if it's California, I don't care if it's here in Colorado, New Mexico, wherever you go, where do you think those immigrants are working at? They're working at the full service car wash, whether it's the tunnel car wash, whether it's the hand wash car wash, they're working there.
Are they paying
And they're
taxes?
working there
Are they paying?
under
Are they paying taxes?
they're working
Are
there
they? But are
under
they?
you.
Are they paying taxes though?
Give me a chance. I'm gonna get to that, but hang on one second. Let me finish.
Well, we got
You
other
got,
people here
yeah,
to
man.
speak.
Because
Go ahead and make your
I'm
point.
trying to let you
So
wrap it up.
my point is he asked me how much money I think has been spent. And the thing is those folks are working over at the car wash, whether they got paperwork or whether they're working there with somebody else's social security card, okay? And the thing is those folks are receiving benefits from the government. How do I know? Because I work with them right there side by side at the car wash all day long, and I hear their conversation.
All right. Thank you for that. I was trying to really let you land your plane, but you was kind of going on. But okay,
Yeah, that's how I know.
Miss Deja done left, so that's good. Okay, I leave room for other people. Let's bring up Mr. Douglas. Mr. Douglas. Mr. Douglas.
Yo,
How you doing, Mr. Douglas?
I'm doing all right.
Where you from, Mr. Douglas?
I live in Las Vegas. I'm originally from Detroit.
All right. What you got for us, Mr. Douglas?
I literally think that it's highly disrespectful that the flag is being thrown upside down. And a lot of people are not living in the same America that the original Americans are living in.
Thank you.
Individuals don't know what criminal activity is. They don't know what illegal activity is. But we're in the same America, which is crazy. Like if you were the mayor or the governor of a city or a state, and somebody came into your city or state and started desecrating buildings, desecrating the cement, throwing rocks at public vehicles, that's not considered a criminal activity.
Thank you.
Like, we got to literally look at the actual picture of what's actually going on. There's no peaceful protest going on. If there was a peaceful protest going on, it would be like back in the day when our ancestors protested. And look, remember, they didn't even resort to violence or tearing up the cities and states, and they still got dogs sicked on them and hit with the fire hydrants or water hose and things of that nature. Look what's going on today with this so-called protest for illegal individual rights from what I'm trying to hear. Like it's disrespectful at the fact that they can't stay in America is what people were saying. How is that disrespectful that they can't stay in America because they came over here undocumented? Make that make sense.
Sir Douglas, I got a lot of respect for you just right there because you made one very valid point. When your guys' ancestors protested. You did it peacefully. You did a march. You did everything that you're supposed to do. And yet now, and you guys got attacked, but now today, undocumented are able to do all this stuff, destroy buildings, destroy property, and nothing is happening to them.
Nothing at all.
There.
Nothing at all. They're getting support from American citizens for tearing up the American property that the taxpayers work hard every day to pay for. And now we're at a point to where there's so many illegal individuals in the country. It's hard for an American to get a job to even attempt to replace what they're tearing up.
Can I say something?
Come on, Mr. McBride. How you doing today, brother?
Good. How are y'all? And I just want to ask because I'm here in Colorado, and you know, like I said, I have a lot of brothers and sisters that help in my struggle and what I do here. So, question, and I get what everybody is saying about how we peacefully protested, and I guess we earned the right to protest. But isn't that what we do? The same thing that in protests, isn't that what we're doing when we protest in our communities? Isn't that what the exact same thing that we're doing? I've been involved in all kinds of different protests, from Elijah McClain and different things here in Colorado. We tear up our own communities also. You know what I'm saying? We tear up other communities that don't belong to us also.
Yeah, man, but that's a different story.
Hold on, bro.
That's a different scenario. We're talking about the scenario.
It's not different, bro.
Let him finish.
Can I finish? So all of a sudden, we have respect for this flag. Has never respected us.
Right.
So I mean, I feel like it's kind of contradictory of some of the things that we're saying. Period. Now, when we talk about the illegals or whatever, okay, yeah, but then this young man is native, and if anybody has rights to talk about things in this country, it's them too, because we don't talk about the conditions of reservations, the things that happen to them, during the same time the things were happening to us. We don't talk about that. It's that those things have been overshadowed, and I have Native American, people in my family, so I am well versed in what has happened. So we have to stop being so hypocritical in these things, because we do those same things, right? And I get it if it's people who we say don't belong here. So I don't know, because when we do those things, the sentiment from some people, like T, is we don't belong here. So I think we need to look at ourselves and figure that out.
Thank you for that, brother. I think a lot of, like I was saying before, I don't know if you was in the chat before, but a lot of people that came over here filled out their paperwork, and they applied for citizenship the correct way. A lot of them are disagreeing with how an immigrant person can just walk across the border and instantly get asylum, instantly get citizenship and get a fast track to being protected as a citizen and all that. A lot of them don't even agree with that. And I've said also before, I didn't agree with it because when they came over here, my taxes went up, so it was it directly affected me. I see. Well, hold on. Wait. Wait. 1 sec. One sec, bro. Let me land my plane. Let me finish my thought. Now, a lot of us, like I said, my taxes went up. When I saw the changes in my neighborhood, where it used to be one way and now it's a different way, and I see them walking up and down the block, 3 in the morning, my car get broke in when before it wasn't happening, and I see them. They was putting them up in hotels, police stations, and they was the mayor of Chicago spending $300-400 million per month on the immigrants, and that came over here undocumented. Yeah, I just disagree with that notion, and that's what I have a problem with. That's one of my main gripes.
I definitely understand that, Marcus. Because, as I said into the letter, so we have had a huge problem with immigration. What the solution here is, what they've been doing is taking hotels that aren't doing so well, cities buying them, and they're putting immigrant in them. So but absolutely no services at all. Honestly. So
I got a question.
Hold on, but one thing, and I'm gonna land my plane. Isn't that immigration thing how it's always been here? The whole Ellis Island thing, you're weak, you're poor, you're disenfranchised, and we'll take them in. Like, when did that change? Because it had to change because our taxes went up.
No, because they came across the border illegally. I can't go into Mexico and I can't go over to Mexico and walk around with a Mexican flag upside down and set Mexican police cars on fire and expect nothing to happen to me. I can't do over there what they doing over here.
Right.
I understand.
Now look, here go my question is, when you go to a hockey, like the hockey championships, you see a bunch of, Caucasian people, celebrating so hard to where they flipping cars over and they setting them on fire. But those are the same American citizens that pay taxes to replace everything that they mess up. What are the illegal immigrants paying as far as taxes to replace what they tearing up today? Who got to replace the cement that they cracking up in L.A., throwing the cement blocks, the cinder blocks at the police? Who got to pay for that?
So are you saying the people that are throwing rocks, the people protesting, are you really saying that they're all migrants?
Not necessarily all of them. They do have, it's families out there.
So do you believe that migrants, illegal, would actually be protesting in front of ICE at the immigration office? It makes no sense. I know. Think about it. It makes no sense.
Of course, it's not going to make no sense.
They're American.
It's not going to make no sense. But why are they being arrested?
They're American citizens, sir, who are protesting.
Arrested for the civil unrest.
Yes.
Look, when you go down there to protest in a illegal format, nobody is exempt from getting, punishment from the law.
So who's getting exempt? Who's getting exempt?
I mean, you're trying to explain, like, are you trying to separate, like, the American citizens and the
I'm not separating anyone.
Illegal immigrants?
What I'm saying is, think about it. If they were protesting the immigration office, they were in front of ICE. You were telling me, as ruthless as ICE has been in the past few months, that undocumented people will go and protest in front of the immigration office. It makes no sense. No, only Americans.
You can't prove that they are.
They are Americans, people.
Mr. Ron,
Don't believe the hype.
In the process in the youth protest that is actually still going on right now in downtown Denver, I know a lot of them that are citizens because they work in the community with. So there's nothing but citizens actually saying ICE. We have an ICE facility here, like a huge ICE facility, like one of the main ones, and they ship people here. So ICE has been snatching people, since this whole thing has started.
That's why they could prove that it was actual Americans doing that. Like,
oh my God.
You can't prove it because you were physically down there.
Have videos. They have videos of Americans talking to the National Guards who are protesters. You can see it in their face. They're U.S. citizens. I don't know if you guys are
judging a book by its cover.
To read. Okay, so exactly. But ICE is doing it. It's okay when it does it.
ICE is following their protocol.
They picked up American citizens because they're brown. What are you talking about? No, they're following the law.
Oh, they're following the law. They're following their protocol. I don't know what you're talking about.
No problem. You don't know what you're talking about.
They're not picking on nobody. They don't just
stuck in your narrative that you're not willing to actually go outside and do the research.
Like that's just coming from some emotional place in your life.
That's not emotional.
It's definitely emotional.
Douglas, I can honestly tell you, they're doing that. They're snatching kids out of schools. They're doing all of those things.
But why though? Well, Mr. McBride, let me clarify something. When you working for the government or the military or anything of that nature, you have orders you have to follow.
This is supposed to be a sanctuary city. Number one. Number two.
When they have orders, sir, they gotta follow.
And these orders, they made clear when ICE was introduced in the community. These are the orders that they said here in Denver, that people that had been here for a while did not have to worry. They were after the gangs and the thugs and all those.
Those are not the same orders that they gave to them.
It's not, man. It's not. This is what I'm saying here in Denver, bro. So I don't know where you're at. That's your rules where you're at. I'm just telling you what they said here. You can look at them.
Yeah, but what he's saying, Mr. McBride, is you don't know if those orders have changed or not.
They have not followed that protocol from day one.
You don't know that. You're not employed by law enforcement official office.
I do.
For you to even say that they're changing protocol, you don't know that.
I do know that because I deal with families like that. So I do.
Dealing with families and being employed by law enforcement is two different things.
I do have a relationship with law enforcement too.
A relationship. You're not employed.
I'm not gonna argue with you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because it's fact.
This is fact. This is fact. It's the fact that you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know.
Right.
Now I don't know what I'm talking about because police are following those police orders that they give specifically to the police, and you're under an assumption.
I'm not.
Let McBride talk. I want to hear what you have to say because he's in the community.
Assumptions, man. Like, I have watched ICE take kids from schools, their parents out of their homes. The kids that were born here, their parents weren't. They had snatched their parents out, and kids have gotten out of school, and their parents are home. I have dealt with this on a real boots on the ground level. So you cannot tell me what I do. I'm
respond to that since
I'm not finished. These orders from day one, they were supposed to be attacking the negative stereotype of criminals. That part of it. Day one, they snatched families and kids. Day one, protocol was not what they say it is. Protocol has just been to remove brown people who they think are illegal out of the community. Period.
All right. Come on, Linda.
And he's right, because over here in Denver, they were doing that. Because I got something from one of my kids at home from school about that.
I'm in Denver.
I'm in Denver as well, so that's why I know he's right what he's saying.
It could be right, but
okay, I'm asking you to hold on, my brother. All I'm saying is they came over to this country illegally, and I don't support that. The whole basis, you snuck into this country illegally, and you're costing me by way of my taxes going up on my property and crime level going up in my neighborhood. So I have an issue with that. And I know that I can't go over to your country and do what you're doing in my country. So I have an issue with that.
So I understand that you have an issue with that. That's the opinion. I would never,
I mean, it's a fact. It's a fact. Linda, it's a fact. It's a fact that they came over here illegal. Is that a fact?
No, it's fine. That's what I'm saying. I agree with you. If you feel like they came here illegally, I totally understand. And I understand.
Wait a minute, because Linda was up. Linda was speaking. Come on, Linda.
Thank you. No, I live on the Texas-Mexico border, 8 miles from the border. We know what's really going on, and it's horrible. I mean, these people, the good people, are being trafficked. Their children trafficked by the drug lords over there. The only one who's making out in this is the drug lord.
Pharmaceuticals. Don't be mindful of your words that you use.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, I watched my community go from a really nice place to live to a place where I have to carry a pew-pew around to protect myself. And it's all because of the crime coming across the border. That's all I had to say.
Thank you for that. Let me welcome Real Deal to the panel.
How's it going? This is previously Lee, if you remember.
Oh,
Told me to get a real name.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was hesitating, man. When you see these people with no picture, and a lot of times they be trolls, man. They come up here and they say a bunch of crazy stuff, and I
kept telling you, this is Lee. I was previously.
I didn't even catch it, man. My bad. I'm glad you're here though, and welcome back to the panel, brother.
Yes.
Okay, what comes to your mind when you see that caption? What's on your mind?
Well, yeah, I I agree with what you're saying. It's disrespectful. I think that so as an African American, I got a couple of vantage points on this. Uh, One, I understand the historical struggle of us against the flag, but regardless of that, I'm an American, and folks that are now trying to come over, they have no allegiance to us, even though we kind of laid the groundwork for them to even be in a position to be coming over here. Through civil rights, through all the stuff we went through, we've led the charge on marginalized communities' rights in this country. That community does not respect us in that regard at all. I was on a live earlier today, and it was Hispanically run. And you, man, I was amazed at the disgust that they have for us. It's like, wow. I mean, they really like, what do we need them for? We outnumber them now. We don't need them. I was like, so I can't have love for that. And that's where I landed.
Thank you. And that's a very good point you brought up. So, I mean, that's another reason I would not be able to support their cause, knowing how they feel about us as a whole. I mean, there are a few, and I'm not saying every last one of them are like that, but I've heard many of them when they get in certain spaces, they speak against us and they speak against us heavy. I've heard too many people. I haven't personally. I haven't worked a 9 to 5 job in probably 30 some years, but I've heard people that do work jobs say that when they get in management position, they hire their own time. They do us a different type of way. They play us, and they and that right there. How can you support? I could never support nothing like that. Knowing you don't
Marcus,
support me.
Marcus in Chicago. What happened out the Earl Washington was unalive. It was rolling with us when they thought they were on the strong side. But when we went weak, where did they go? Went totally against us and never
Yeah,
came back to date.
that's
Right.
true. That's a good point. You're right.
When you look at HDO, are you familiar with them?
Allegiance. HDO.
Hispanic Democratic Organization.
Oh no, I'm gonna look them up though.
Well, there was one of the arms of Richard Daley, political arms. When they gained the power under him, you should have saw how they treated the black folks that was working under them.
BLK, sir.
How they treated BLK folk that was working under them. It's amazing. And so when it come to us, although I sympathize, can't have too much love for it. I really can't. Because it's to no benefit of us. They come over here that way and they numbers mushroom when they trying to take automatic seats from us. They trying to take congressional seats from us. We're not trying to do that to the YT community. We're coming at us.
Yeah, that's true.
Like a
Whenever
little
we,
hostile takeover.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Whenever we have issues, when we have problems, when we've been PQ'd down by the police and we have to get out there and march, they don't march with us.
Yes, they do
No, they
march.
don't.
I'm from New
No,
York.
they
They
don't.
march.
No, they don't.
Here too,
No, they don't.
ever.
Not as a whole. Not as a whole.
Not as a whole.
In Chicago, they don't. And
But,
I haven't seen it.
okay, so I run a company
Weather.
here in my town, and I respect the BLK community, and I'm Hispanic, and I've I've never backed down out of saying what's right. When these national things happen, like George Floyd, you know, I was hardcore supporter for reforming police, and all this stuff, and like I'm just very upset that I'm hearing this, and I'm not disagreeing with y'all. I think that I respect your guys' views and observations. Not all of them are like that, you know.
Hey, I agree with you, Red Violet, and you said you're Hispanic, right? Let me ask you let me ask you an honest question. Have you heard Hispanics speak against BLK people in a derogatory manner? Have you ever heard that?
Yes.
And how do you shut it down when you hear it? You know what? You don't have to answer that, but thank you for your honesty.
Marcus, if I can also add, when it comes to you in Chicago, and I know, when you look at all the contracts that the Hispanics get when they come in our community, we give them love. They get all the landscaping, they get all the side contracts that do concrete work. We give them love. If any BLK go over to their area to try to get a landscaping contract, or you try to set up a business in their community, they'll burn it down.
That's true.
But they over in our community. They're over in our community with businesses.
That's
They
true.
in our community with
That's
businesses,
true.
and we patronize.
And we do business with them.
Did they burn down one
we
of your
do
businesses?
and we do business with them. We don't hear we do business with everybody, but you don't hear people going out their way to do business with us.
And it don't matter if they on one of his businesses or not. The fact of the matter is, it's a lot of hostile animosity towards the BLK community for what reason a lot of people don't know. And we getting still out there emotionally supporting them and their cause, ignorantly not knowing the full extent of what's actually happening in reality. But yet and still, let another situation happen to where all BLK members got to protest on their own, and let's see how many Hispanic protesters they're going to be.
I don't know where you
Pretty
live.
sure it's going to be the same as all the other times.
Where do you live?
I live in Nevada.
So I don't know what goes on in Nevada, but I live in a major city, and when we protest, we all protest together.
Well, I have a question.
Brown, Black, Puerto Rican, we all protest together.
I have a question, V-Spot. What should be done?
Cutting me off.
Because I
I'm
asked
asking you
you
a question.
We're having a dialogue.
because
I'm
I asked
asking a
you
question.
I asked you to say BLK also.
I'm sorry. Be okay.
Come on,
You
Mr. Brown.
spicy, Gary. You spicy. Chill. I'm just thinking.
What should be done, V-Spot?
I see it I see it like it's like the YT folks, right? The ones who are.
I'm talking this situation.
I'm giving you an example.
I need an answer. I don't need an example. What should be done?
That's crazy. Well, I think everyone should band together because it seems to me that people feel that because it's not affecting them personally, they don't care. And it's like, send them back, send them back, send them back. No one understands that what is happening right now with the Marines being called in.
You're not answering the question.
I am answering the question.
No, you're not.
What?
What should be done?
I'm telling you what should be done.
No, you're not. You're avoiding the question.
How am I avoiding the question? You're not letting me
I'm not answering it. Answer the question.
I just said it. We need to band together because what's happening in California right now with the military being brought in to fight against U.S. citizens is going to happen in each and every city in the United States.
And how many times black people band together?
I'm sorry?
When black people were having this situation, how many times did we need them to band together with us?
Sir, listen, if you want to band together with just BLK folks, then band together with BLK folks. What I'm trying to explain to you is what's happening today in California is a test. That's it. It's a test to see what they can do to expand what's happening now to other cities to declare martial law.
Okay.
Although what she said may be true, it's still so two things can be true at the same time. So what she's saying may very well be true. However, when it comes to them coming over here, it's not an advantage to BLK people. Because they're already clamoring that they're outnumbering us. But they're outnumbering us because they're able to come over here in droves like that. Right? So
I don't
So and that being said, I don't care much for that. For the benefit of BLK people. Although at the same time recognizing that this may be a test for martial law.
V-Spot, are you BLK? V-Spot, what's your ethnicity?
I'm Puerto Rican.
Oh, okay. No wonder. I thought so. Okay.
That's
Well, at
that's
any rate,
disrespectful.
no, it's not. Just for me saying I thought so, that's not a disrespect.
Condescending.
I didn't.
Because
If you take it that way, that's not.
I identify as a black woman. Look at my.
No, you don't. You just said. I just asked you
You're
what
racist.
you.
That's what it is.
I just asked
It's
you.
not
what,
racist. He just know where you stand now.
Exactly.
You're making a valid argument pertaining to your
I live in New York City.
Thank you.
I grew up amongst everybody.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. All I do. Hold on. I'm asking. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Can you have discipline along with that empathy? Thank you. I asked you what your ethnicity was, so I know where you stand. I did not make any derogatory comments or derogatory remarks after that. I just okay.
Oh, I thought so.
Yeah, thought so. That's how you. That's how you take it. That's just how you take it. All I said is I thought so, which that lets me know where you think and why you think the way you think. I understand where you're coming from, but I just heard.
Mr. Ronald.
I don't want to drop you. I want to keep you up here, but if you keep interrupting, then that's disrespectful.
He meant no disrespect.
Well, I that's how I took it. So
okay, I can't help that.
Being emotional.
Spot, what was your question to me?
My question to you is, because I'm Puerto Rican, does not mean that I have the stance that I have, because there are plenty of Puerto Ricans who feel the opposite of how I feel. Hence, Puerto Ricans for Trump. You have other Hispanics that feel opposite of what I feel because of, opposite of what I feel, and they're Hispanic. I feel the way I feel because I feel it's inhumane what's going on.
Hold on. Hold on. That's not a question. You were making a statement and then it went into a speech. He asked you what question did you have for him? What I want to say is, who was that? Who was that who said that they were on a Hispanic panel today and they were getting
real? That was real.
Okay,
that was me.
Okay, yeah, and see that is that the way they were talking? Are they? Is that in any way in comparison to how we're talking over here or how I'm talking over here? Is that in any way on the same level?
Not at all.
Thank you.
Are you asking me the question?
No, I was talking to real deal.
I've got a comment for you, Miss V Spot.
Yes, sir.
That was not me commenting on your nationality. I could care less what you are.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
That was me who said that.
I can't see the little box lighting up, so I don't.
That's okay. That's why I let you know that was me.
Can I ask a question? The people that were on that panel, does that represent the sentiment of every Hispanic group?
No, it does not. But for a greater part, when I go throughout the country, and I travel the country quite a bit, as well as going into I've went to Cancun a couple times, and the way I saw African American tourists treated there was ridiculous. I ran into some bad experiences over there, so I stopped going. But the thing is that these folks have no great love for us at all. They come here with preconceived notions, and they want to align themselves with the YT more than anything else.
It's like you get some BLK communities in Los Angeles and here in Denver, Colorado, and you be treated probably worse than you were in Cancun. So we got like.
So, bro, that's neither here nor are you treating each other well? That's neither here nor there. I'm talking about.
Are we treating each other well in our community?
No, you can go there. I'm talking about having leverage as a group in the society and putting others before your own group. That's what I'm talking about. We got to be strategic. It's time out for us putting everybody else before us. Time out.
Say something. I say something. I just really appreciate. I want to say one thing. I want to appreciate everybody for listening to me, and like I said, I'm a reveal. I'm Mexican American, and I'm proud to be an American. But I love my black people. Sorry.
BLK, sir.
Sorry. Yeah, BLK, my BLK community. I have very good friends, very good relationships with my friends, and I look at them as equal, and I respect them, and that's my statement. I just want to say, like, I'm sorry that Real Deal, you got a bad experience, but that's not everybody, you know. I look out for everybody, even if things aren't perfect, you know. But I try to be a good person, you know, an American, a good person. Good night, guys.
I
Hey,
appreciate
man,
that,
have a
Red
good one,
Robert.
Red.
All right. Have a good one, Red
Marcus,
Robert.
I need some.
Come on, Mr. Ronald.
All right. If you do not follow the live creator at this time, you may do so before, during, or after the live. Just hit that gray heart right next to his name, Marcus Maxwell 406. Also, you can help the live by choosing to hit that gold star to the bottom left of the screen. It will help the creator reach his live goals. And please, please share this live with as many people as you can so maybe they can hear some information, join in the conversation, or whatever they choose to do by hitting that white arrow to the bottom right of the screen. Also, any gifts given, please remember, it don't matter how big or how small they are all greatly appreciated. You can also become a fan club member. It costs little or nothing. And we'd really like if you could subscribe to the live creator. We're here every night, 11 p.m. Central. But one thing I don't want you guys to forget, please participate. Help us tap the screen so we can achieve our live goal. Back to you, Marcus.
All right. Thank you, sir. And thank you, Melanie, for that. I just want to say that again, I reiterate, I would not be able to go to Mexico and do what they're doing over here. And if I did go to Mexico, and I decided that I wanted to go over to Mexico illegally, or say go over there with a visa and decide I want to overstay my visa and demand to stay there illegally. I wonder how many Hispanics would stand with me in protest and put their well-being and put their potential safety and put their potential freedom on the line for me against other Hispanics to help me stay there, even though I got there illegally. That's my whole point right there. Who else coming up? Let me
You would be
welcome.
unalived over there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, I have family all through Mexico.
Please do not use all caps in the chat.
I didn't.
Let me welcome.
I'm not talking to you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Let me welcome user 1880.
Anyway, I got to go, guys. I wish y'all the best in life, and God blesses all of you.
Thank you for your input. Come back and see us.
11 o'clock Central. 1880. User 1880.
Yes, how you doing? Everything you're saying.
Where you from? Where you from, sir?
From New York City, and from the Bronx. I love everything that you're talking about. This panel, and she keeps saying that she's from New York, and that like she's mixed with people. That's not true, because even in New York City, is divided and separated, and they show no love. They only around Black Americans.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay, when it's warranted that they can get something, grab something, take something from us. And now I'm so thankful that we see it. And even, I don't know if y'all know this, but just a couple of months ago, the Senate, that's the third generation Latino in California, he shot down reparations. He was like, that ain't happened to us. So, why are we supporting that? They never supported us. And I love your panel. I'm a retired construction worker from the union in New York City. And the reason why I say that, because they made a lot of union jobs non-union by allowing them to work But I dare any Black American kid.
BLK, sir, please.
I'm sorry, BLK. Go to any of them companies to try to get a job, and they will look at you like you crazy. Even Alexandria Cortez, there's a mall in a Black community up in the Bronx called Co-op City. And no Black people working there.
Man, you gotta be TikTok friendly, man. For the third time, it's BLK.
You know what? I'm gonna shut up and because I just got on a couple of months ago, and I deeply apologize. But that lady, she don't even know what she's talking about.
I know exactly what I'm talking about. I grew up on 156 Park.
Wait, let them finish. V Spot.
It's not Puerto Rico. It's not. And y'all trying to make it into something that's not, even with the rap effect, no. Everything that we get involved in, y'all try to be a part of, and it shouldn't work like that. We can't go around none of y'all and get anything, no jobs, no nothing. So the thing that I'm just trying to say is what's going on today. I'm thankful to God that it's going on, and I'll land my plane. And thank y'all for giving me opportunity to speak. And she's lying about the melting.
Well, let's not attack each other, sir. If you landed your plane, we're moving on.
Okay, so I like to chime
Thank
in
you for that,
off.
user.
Can I, Mr. Ron, Mr. Marcus, can I say something? Can I say something super quick?
You've already landed your plane, sir.
Thank you for that, user. I appreciate
Can I say
your
one
input.
thing, Mr. Marcus?
Hold on one second, V Spot. Thank you
Okay.
for your input, user. Let's let Real Deal. We'll come to you, V Spot. Come on, Real
Okay.
Deal.
Yeah, so adding to what the gentleman was saying, oftentimes the Hispanic community, they lock arms with us when there's benefit. In the city of Chicago, that term minority is used, right? They tend to get the greatest amount of benefit from that, and YT women. We end up with very little, and there's no stance on. And we're the ones who's pushing the envelope for the access. We tend to be the ones who's pushing the envelope for it. But when it all boils out and shakes out, it's YT women and Hispanics. Right now, throughout Chicago, you can look at just about any construction site, be it in the BLK community, any other community, and you see YT and Hispanics working those construction jobs. These are government contracts. These are sewer linemen. These are plumbers, bricklayers. These are life changing careers, and they're reaping the benefit, and they're not on the end of pushing the envelope. And then when it shakes out, not standing with us saying, man, that our BLK brothers and sisters should be getting the greater part of the. Oh, they're happy with what they're getting. They don't give a darn about us. We're ending up getting the short end of the stick. So we got to look inward and look out for our own interests. And them increasing their numbers here is not beneficial to us at all.
Well, after you, V Spot wanted to speak, and after she speaks, we're going back to the topic because we're moving further and further away. Go ahead, V Spot.
I just super quick. I just wanted to respond to one April. I don't know where in New York City he lives, but I grew up. I don't live in the Bronx anymore, but I grew up in 156 Park in Cortland, which is the South Bronx, in the PJs. And in the PJs, the BLKs and the Hispanics, I would say 75% of us all roll together, literally. So I don't know what he's talking about. And I know
158th Street and Park Avenue, Epworth Church. My grandmother lived in that building. I could name everybody to you.
Jackson
Hold on. We getting back on topic.
Too much.
Take it, Marcus.
Yeah, Mr. Marcus, I'm done.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's kind of it's kind of crazy how I knew it was gonna go this way because of the topic, and it's I knew it was gonna go in that direction. because of the way a lot of people feel. So, as far as the topic goes, yeah, I know a lot of people feel some type of way about the flag being upside down. And that was my first thought when I first saw it. So I
Hey,
knew
Marcus.
I knew that was going to go in that direction. But come on, Mr. Douglas.
Marcus, you remember when we was in school where we had to pledge allegiance to that flag?
Yeah, yeah, I do. And hold your hand over your heart. Yeah.
And I don't remember pledging allegiance to any other country during that time. So why is everybody in support of all these other countries? I'm not being biased or anything like that, but I'm talking about right now in this hostile scenario. We not pledging allegiance to our country right now. We defending the enemy at this point. They became an enemy.
You went to school and pledged allegiance to that flag, and somebody moved, and you walked out of school, got beat up by the police.
Yeah, but those are different scenarios, bro.
What is the difference in the scenario, man?
Because you mixing your emotion.
I'm talking with straight facts, bro. Straight facts. That's what happened. So
if it was with straight facts, then
you would be straight concerned about that flag when that flag has never meant anything to us.
Well, Mr. McBride, I got to disagree with you, brother. I served, I retired from the military, and it still means a lot to me.
My family was straight military. My dad, my grandfather, on both sides.
Well, I'm military. I'm just sharing with you why the flag means something to me.
And I get it, but in terms of what I've seen and my experiences with that flag in my lifetime, it hasn't done anything for us. As a matter of fact, it's suffocated us in this country.
We can say the same thing. We experienced the same things.
We're fighting for this flag that has never done anything positive for us. And Marcus, we talk about that on this show every night.
But it did something positive for me.
Negative experience. Hold on, Mr. Douglas. The negative experiences that we as BLK suffer in this country under that flag. But all of a sudden now, because somebody we don't feel has the rights to turn that flag, who has not, we have suffered nothing but injustice under that. All of a sudden, because people we don't feel are equitable in holding that flag up, now we're protecting it. Come on, man, get out of here with that.
No, it's the fact that we worked so hard up under that flag. We done went through so much turmoil up under that flag. That flag became a part of us now.
Yeah, and
we also accomplished a lot under that flag.
Yes, and this is our country. We literally built this country. My ancestors sweated. And we built it.
Put the sweat equity, the blood equity.
We built this country. I got you, Mr. McBride, but we built this country literally. So when I see these people come over here illegally, and it affects me directly in more ways than one. Yeah, I just have a problem with it. And not only did they come over to this country illegally, but they had the audacity to come over to this country and turn their noses up at me, at us. I've been to Mexico a few times. I've been there, Cancun. I've been to Cozumel. I've been to Mexico a couple of times, and I've had those experiences. Matter of fact, out here there's a commissioner that's Hispanic, and I see how he act when he go into certain BLK people homes, and a lot of people say the same thing. And it's
And
just
Marcus, Mr. Cowboy was asking to speak when he gets a chance.
Oh, he was? Okay, I got you, Mr. Cowboy. But yeah, when they come over here, it's the way they act. Now, if they came over here and acted a different way as a whole, then I would have been cool with that. But they didn't. They come over here and they try to dominate. And they try to move us out the way and assimilate over into the supremacist system that we under. So yeah, I got a problem with it. But come on, Ms. D. Let me welcome Ms. D, and then after Ms. D, we go to Cowboy. Ms. D.
Hey, how's it going?
All right. Where you from, Ms. D?
I'm from Illinois, so I might have a little bit different perspective on this than some people. I don't stand for the Pledge of Allegiance because I don't stand for a country before I do my religious entity, which would be.
Okay.
I will never stand for a country before I stand to God.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been that way since I was 7.
Okay. How
I was also a member of a peace church, if that says anything
you
as well.
said you said you from Illinois, right?
Yes, sir.
How you feel about them marching downtown and setting police cars on fire and stuff?
That's fine.
That's fine with you?
Civil unrest is a situation because at this point, we have illegal, unconstitutional action happening in our country.
Mhm.
And if you look at it from a standpoint, people like military folks, they are under oath to reflect the Constitution and defend the Constitution, not the corrupt leadership that has given them the order.
Okay, let me ask you this, Ms. D. So it's okay with you that they coming over here illegally, just crossing right on into the border?
Nobody is illegal. People are just simply underdocumented.
Okay,
And I mean that from a
okay.
human standpoint.
Okay, let me ask you this. So when they come into the country undocumented, as you say, is that illegal or illegal? Is that not an illegal
It's a
act?
paperwork situation. It
But is
comes
it
down to as simple as like
okay?
race
Let me ask you
situation.
this. Let me ask you this, Ms. D. Can you go over to their country and just stay as long as you want?
If you request to, you could usually request asylum and can.
Wait. You have to do what now? There's a step. You said you have. Okay. Thank you, Ms. D.
If you want to sit there and get all technical about it, you have to come to a U.S. court.
Because nobody in that mass group of Hispanics requested asylum. They just came over here.
One sec, y'all.
Also, here's the thing: when you join a mass caravan like that, ask yourself, why are they coming all from the same place?
It doesn't matter.
Who's the country that started the disruption?
That doesn't matter.
But it does.
No, it doesn't. Where in law does it say that matters that they come in
I'm sitting
droves?
there screwing things up in Latin America. It's going on 50 and 60 in some spots.
But where does it say in law they're coming over in our country in droves? It doesn't matter if it's legal.
Okay, hold on, y'all. Hold on.
See,
hold on,
I'm not
Ms. D.
being disrespectful. Don't call me out my name.
Wait, what did she say? She didn't call you out. What did she say?
She called me a dumb fuck.
You're being a dumb fuck about it because
Wait,
we're not coming in
Ms. D.
droves.
We don't tolerate disrespect up here. We don't tolerate that. Come on, Mr. Cowboy.
Ronald, Marcus, how's it going?
All right.
It's a beautiful night.
One of those.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, love you both. Been part of your panel for a few weeks now. So I wanted to point something out. We got 175 people in here, and you guys already know my piece, but this goes like this should be said. Marcus and Ronald is in charge. That's plain and simple. They tell you to be quiet, you be quiet. They tell you the rules of this panel, it should be obeyed. BLK, YT, no cursing, no disrespecting, no calling people out. It's not that difficult. Everyone understand that. Everyone can see that. It shouldn't have to be repeated over and over again. I land my plane.
Thank you for that, Mr. Cowboy. We got Unfolded Laundry. Y'all got some crazy names. Unfolded Laundry. How you doing?
Sir, how are you?
All right. Where you from, Unfolded Laundry?
I'm from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin in the house. Okay. What's on your mind? What do you see what comes to your mind when you see that caption?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a true statement. Immigrants do. I mean, the funny thing is that the illegal immigrants that come over to this country disrespect the country the most, when the ones that come here legally and really spend the time to become an American citizen have more appreciation for our country than American-born citizens.
Yeah.
So I think that it's backwards. I think that we have a serious problem on our hands, and these riots are just a tip of the iceberg when it comes to, excuse me, when it comes to just a complete derangement. I mean, Trump derangement syndrome is real. Obama deported 5.3 million people. 3 million of those people were formal removals, meaning it's very literally exactly the same way that Donald Trump is deporting people. And there were no protests, no riots when Obama was doing it. But now that Trump is doing it, you see people setting cars on fire and throwing stones at police officers' heads. And like I said, it's just the tip of the iceberg. We're going to have the Summer of Love 2.0.
Why do you think they're doing it different now?
Well, because they're easily manipulated, and their party it's a combination of them inciting these riots and also paying people to riot. So they're, excuse me, I swallowed some water the wrong way. Hold on one second.
All right. While you
If I can
hold on,
respond to that, Marcus.
come on, real deal.
So it's kind of funny how he tried to throw Obama in there, and Obama was not an advocate of violence. He never bows that. He never disrespected other groups and demonized people and all of that. He didn't do those things. This guy that's in the White House right now has been that way since he's been on the public scene running for office. And so when you carry yourself that way, that's how people respond to you. You could be in the workplace and have a guy crack a joke that everyone laughs at, but they know this guy's character. You can have another guy that has a painted character on its own doing, and he say that same joke, and it'll be received totally different. And I'm making an example of, it may be that some of the same procedures was used under Obama, but it's how you do something. It's not what you do; it's how you do it. Obama was
out of all due respect, real deal. Up until Obama had deported more people than any other president in history.
Absolutely.
You're correct.
But there were. My point is, there were no protests because the way he did it, in the character he is.
Yeah, he didn't have.
Can you explain how he did it differently than Donald Trump?
I told you there may have been percentages of that he did it exactly like Trump's doing it. However, like I gave the example of having two different types of people in the workplace, I'm comparing it to the president. And the president,
you're saying that because Barack Obama was more palatable, he's a more likable president. That justifies riots.
Quietly behind the scenes, he did not advertise.
Right. Well, some would say that that's more deceptive.
He did it with due process.
Not all of them, ma'am.
That's not true.
He didn't pull people out of school.
He did.
He didn't interrupt
yes, he did.
graduations. No, he did not.
He did not. Oh, you got to give me some examples of that. I don't recall that at all.
He didn't pull
It was just said that he did it behind the scenes. When some would argue is more deceptive than what Donald Trump is doing.
So when you say he did it behind the scenes, I'm sorry, guy. Give me some examples. Show me some documentation.
3 million people were deported. Formal removals. That is the exact same way that Donald Trump is deporting people. There is very literally no difference between the two.
Donald Trump literally has droves of ICE agents covered with masks in the streets, picking up people from homes.
Because liberals are psychotic and they dox their families.
You asked the question.
So you said that he did it like...
Hold on, brother. You can't just yell out. Let V-Spot finish.
Sorry.
You have people now with masks who are interrupting elementary school graduations. Like they are aggressively picking up any brown person, including citizens.
It's not true.
Okay. All right.
I was a young lady that was in college that
they're not going to pick up any brown person. That's
the young lady that was in college that was all over the news where the ICE agents walked up to her on the street. I think it was at Harvard or Yale. She was walking from one place to another on campus. It was all over the news. They walked up to her, took her book bag, put her in handcuffs, and tortured her away. You don't know any of that happening under Obama.
Can I respond to that or no?
Can I respond to that?
Only because she wrote a college paper talking about Gaza.
Sorry, are you mocking me?
Oh.
Person who just...
Nobody's mocking you, sir.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, can I say something? Can I say something?
Go ahead, you, sir.
Thank you. Number one, my grandmother, and just give me a second so I could get this out the way.
Well, don't take too long. Everybody trying to get it.
Sure, I won't. My grandmother worked in that community center on Park Avenue in Portland for 40 years. My mother and father got married at Networth Church, 161st Street. Wait a minute. They always took Black American kids out of school and arrested them. BLK, and they always separated us from our family from the beginning of time. And we American citizens, a lot of my friends used to get locked up and so that's where they will kill. These people don't even belong in this country. I know people that always got locked up and were separated with the wrong crimes, 25 to life, even where he's from, 50 to life, 20 years, and then they found out through DNA, oh, they didn't do it. We always got locked up in schools. So what are y'all talking about? Like that don't make sense.
All right. Land your plane, sir, because we got to get back on topic.
And thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's get back on topic, Mr. McBride.
Please.
I'd like to discuss the
Well, it's not your turn right now, sir. Mr. McBride, give us back.
It was making statements towards me, though. So
I would.
no, that's fine, though.
I would say this. I would say that we have all inherited some percentage of racism in this country. In this conversation that we're having right now. Now, I was on the other side of the fence for a while where I thought a lot of people were working with some of these families that I've had for a long time. I know what's going on. I know that snatching was right out of school. I know that didn't happen under the Obama administration. Nothing can steer and tell me that.
Right. Interrupt, please. Are you done, Mr. McBride? Okay, Marcus.
All right, Mr. McBride. I'm so
now is what everybody we've inherited all this racism.
Oh, I thought you were done. Okay, you done, Mr. McBride? You laying your plane or what?
Plane landed.
All right. Unfolded Laundry has something he wanted to say. Come on, man. Unfolded Laundry.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It's an absurd notion to say that these ICE agents are taking anybody who's brown. It's just ridiculous. First of all. Secondly, the reason why they're masked is because it's already happened where federal agents, family members have been doxxed on the internet, and children are being viciously bullied and ridiculed in their schools. So yeah, that's kind of the liberal effect. That's what happens when liberals get their claws into something. People think it's very cowardly, especially when children are involved.
Well, what do you mean the liberals? The liberals aren't the ones who set this plan up to pick up undocumented people. So how is it the liberals?
You mentioned the fact that they're wearing masks. I'm telling you why they're wearing masks.
So, but they didn't wear masks during Obama's time, so I don't understand what's the difference.
Why do you think that is?
Why?
Do you think that liberals are going to dox liberals? You're just kind of making my point for me, man.
Why?
Well, first of all, this is not a political discussion. Let's stay on topic, please.
But
Right.
I can see Unfolded Laundry's point to where they wear masks to protect their families. That's a valid point. And that's not here. That's law enforcement in many other countries too. Matter of fact, over in the country of where the immigrants come from, their law enforcement over there wear masks. And we do have a issue with people doxing people because just recently with the what's the twins and the guy unalive one of the twins, the young man, what was his name? Anyway, they doxed that judge that gave him a bond. So yeah, that is an issue with people doxing people. So I can see that. I can see the math.
More from the right than it is from the left. Not a political discussion, sir.
That's ridiculous.
Not a political discussion.
Their own people. That makes sense.
I'm just not going to continue the point because the moderators say don't go political. So
I wouldn't want to continue that point either. It's ridiculous.
no, it's ridiculous what you're saying.
Okay, but anyway, my question is to Miss B Spot. I'm just choosing you. I'm not picking on you.
Are you sure
No.
you're picking on me?
No, I'm not, because I already asked you the same question. I never got an answer.
I you just didn't like my answer.
Okay, I'll ask Mr. McBride. Mr. McBride, what's the solution to the problem?
The solution is we have to stand together. You know what I'm saying? I mean, politically, for a pretty big, formative force. We're not happy with this IT system. We're content with getting people in those positions. Kind of look at where each other's interest is.
So when you say we, who are you speaking of?
BLK and brown people.
Anybody who's not white.
Okay.
And I would like to add
Let
something.
me respond to that real quick. Now, in all honesty and fairness, we started that whole stand together movement with the civil rights. Matter of fact, they over here because of us. We got them over here. And when they got over here, what did they do? As a whole, they don't stand with us as a whole. There might be a few pockets, a few little anecdotal, a few little exceptions here and there, but as a whole, they don't stand with us. That's just not the case. So I mean, the same people that you said.
It's because a lot of those people like us. I hate to say
They do. They do. But they are.
they follow the ones that were here.
You said that. You said they, okay. You said they look like us, but they are quick to tell you they are not us. They are quick to They are quick to separate from us.
I've had different experiences.
Well, I mean, like I say, I think that's the exception, not the norm.
I agree.
I think that's your because one sec unfold it. Because I think you in the position you are, as a community activist and as a pillar of the community, they see you as a lifeline for some reason. Let you be on the other side and you need that lifeline. I guarantee you'll have a different experience.
I have been on the other side, Mother.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying how they act as a whole.
How it works.
And we know this. They know it. My man, that brother was just on a panel today, and he just said,
an isolated panel. It's not an isolated panel.
Yeah, but you don't hear BLK people talk like that. You hear BLK. Hold on. You hear BLK people, some for, some against. Some say let's stand with the brown people. Some say no, let's just stand with our own people. You hear that in BLK circles, but in their circle, when it's all Hispanic, and they all move in the same direction. That's the difference right there, and that's what a lot of people don't see that.
When they go before legislation and they talking about passing laws, they don't be talking minority. They talk Hispanic.
Thank you.
Specifically, it's only the BLK people that go in there to use that minority language because we're drinking that Kool-Aid. We're self-defeating all the time. We got to get more self-love first. You got to love yourself first, and then maybe deal with somebody else.
Right on.
I'm sorry that somebody hurt you.
I mean, we
do not use all caps in the chat, please.
We just at a point where we need to take care of our own. I'm not saying down nobody else or hurt nobody. I'm just saying we need to look inward and take care of our own first before we can look out and say, let's
and then the proof is in the pudding, Brother Marcus. When you go into their communities, you don't see not one black business. There's a reason for that.
BLK,
why y'all can't remember BLK?
I'm sorry. You don't see not one BLK business.
No, you see tire shops and landscaping businesses over here. And, you get all that. But we get the negative stereotype. We get pooped on.
Yep.
And that's just, I don't know how people don't see that. I don't understand how people can't see that, because that's just, I'm talking about as a whole. As a whole, I'm not saying they all are like that. There's a few.
A whole.
There's a
That's
few.
I think everyone.
I said as a whole, as a whole, as a general rule. What percentage of the people does it take to make it a general rule?
Would you keep voting for people who are letting floods and floods of people come into this country that you're opposing?
We're not talking politics.
Who said we're voting for them?
At a certain point, politics are.
Yeah, but unfolded laundry. Who said we're voting for them?
Because I didn't vote for him.
What's your basis for that statement? Well, yeah, that's all I'm saying is we gotta understand what's going on. I don't see
Brown people vote for Democrats overwhelmingly?
I don't see nothing wrong with
No, you are so wrong. You
Okay.
assume that we black and brown, we gonna just vote for them.
Saying, okay, you have to hear me.
What was your question?
Sacred Jews. No, I'm not saying you specifically.
What was your
I don't understand how you can hear me if you're constantly interrupting.
Hold on, unfold it. What's your question? Go ahead. What was your question?
Once again, I'm not saying you specifically voted. I don't know who you voted for.
All right.
I'm saying as a general statistic, black and brown people overwhelmingly vote for Democrat.
Yeah, okay.
You're
Same thing again.
You're denying it?
No, I'm not.
Yes.
I'm not. Well, yeah, I mean, statistics did show that 80%. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. However, this is what I'm talking about. We need to understand what's going on with them marching downtown. They're marching for their people, and let them do what they want to do. And if I'm not saying, hey, I'm not saying I'm against it, or you need to do this to them or need to do that to them. I'm just saying, okay, you do your thing, because I know where you stand and I know what you think. As a people, you are out for yours. If me and 400 other people was in Mexico, would there be a significant number of Hispanic, Mexican people standing with me? Would there be a significant number of Mexican people standing with me against their own Mexican people?
What's the relevance in bringing up a hypothetical situation? Why can't you talk about?
Because the relevance is because it's happening over here. It's happening over here. And I want people, Marcus.
This country is made up of immigrants.
I want people to see the difference and what they're saying and how they look when they say what they say and when they stand the way they stand. That's all I'm saying.
And I'm 1,000% with you, Marcus. And I think people that are not you and I can't really understand what you're saying because they're coming from a different perspective. But we have to look out for BLK interests at all costs. That's what we got to turn. This is just simply the way it is.
You would think they would understand because they immigrants too, but they their forefathers is so far immigrant they done forgot where they came from.
Gladys,
so I'm not talking about from
Gladys.
Marcus making a point of
what are you crying for, Marcus? Is that what it sounds like, Gladys? I'm crying. Come on, brother. I just want to recognize
what I thought Marcus was saying was that okay, 400 of us was in Mexico standing up for our right to stay there. What the Hispanics there stand with us against their own? And I would say absolutely not. And I mean, it's just clear to me that it is self-defeating for us to stand with a group to increase their numbers here. Although I'm sympathetic about any human's right to improve their situation, but it's not advantageous to me. I'm not going to help you and hurt me. So I love me more than I love you, even though I can say I love everybody, but I love me more than anybody else. So it is not strategic for us to advocate for a group of people to come over here and increase their numbers and to our disadvantage. And you cannot tell me that that's not the case.
That makes sense. But to unfold the laundry, Donald Trump won more BLK voters than any Republican in 48 years.
And that's fantastic, but doesn't change the fact that 86% of Black people voted for Kamala Harris.
BLK, sir.
Sorry.
And there's nothing wrong with that 88% of BLK people voted for her.
That's why we overwhelmingly voted for her.
Yeah, they probably wasn't voting for her because she was a Democrat.
You're directly contradicting yourself, because you're just saying that you have an issue with the overwhelming amount of people that you guys are opposed to, and you're voting for.
But you keep saying you guys. You don't know voted for who.
Yeah,
bipartisan.
If I have to clarify every single time.
Well, don't generalize, because you're putting things on people that you do not know.
You must clarify, because I'm bipartisan.
I apologize. Did you vote for Kamala Harris?
Who are you asking?
So you voted for Kamala Harris?
Who are you asking?
Anybody would like to answer?
I'm bipartisan. I don't vote for neither one of them.
No, I did not.
Bipartisan. Complain.
Bipartisan means that both parties are involved. That's what bipartisan means.
Yeah, that means I didn't vote.
That's
so that's not bipartisan.
That's not bipartisan.
right.
Oh well, whatever it means not to vote, then that's what I am.
You just
I just want to say something real fast. She made a statement and said that this country is a melting pot for immigrants. That's not true. Nobody was in this country until BLK people built it up. Nobody was in this country until we turned around and fought for every right for everybody else to have a safe passage along with us. Then everybody ran over here and tried to take what was ours. And as much as everybody hates this man, he said no immigrants or nobody built this country, but BLK people did. So when this is going on, and they always, like I said earlier, took us out of school. And when we were fighting the fight, guess what? Nobody was around to help us. Nobody was next to us. No, even in Miami with the Cubans, with Castro. You understand? We tried to do for everybody to come and smack us right in the face. The thing that I'm telling you, you talking to a shop steward from New York City that got 300 people union job that always made over $100,000 a year.
Sure, we did have YT people support us, especially during the King era, especially on the bus ride.
Talk about Latinos, Africans, all of these.
Well, don't generalize.
You say no Hispanics walked with Dr. King. That's what you're telling me?
Right.
You're talking about
No. These are 1880, whatever is not.
None of y'all did nothing in Brooklyn. There's one or two of y'all.
Okay. All right.
Always gonna be one or two or three.
All right.
You know what y'all did? You probably thought you was gonna get something and then ran back to your people.
Yeah, I feel sorry I feel sorry for you. I think a Hispanic hurt your feelings.
I'm sorry for you because where you from in Portland Avenue, I know everybody over there. My grandma,
that's why I said I probably
we're not gonna be personal.
Yes.
We're not gonna be personal.
Reese family, Jay.
Sir, we're not being personal.
We all know that.
Reese's.
Great.
Do you hear that?
We know that.
All right. Thank you for that, user. Thank you for your input.
True. Know him too.
Okay. So now you know.
Encore for user.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, brother. All right. Come on, V Spot.
Yes. No, I mean, was just saying, Unfold left, but I mean, he was blaming the folks coming in under Biden. He was blaming Biden, but if he would have done the research, he would have known that Biden was trying to pass a nonpartisan bill to hire more folks at the border, and Trump called his, Republican folks and said, don't vote for the bill. So since they didn't vote for the bill, they did not have enough folks at the border to be able to, stop and send them back. And then what happens? He comes. I mean, he runs on immigration, and that's exactly why he did not want the bill to pass. Was because if the bill passed, what would he have to run on?
But what I got to say against that is, and what you just said is correct. However, I think Biden dropped the ball because instead of, he implemented like 6 months out from the election, a process which cut the border crossings down to 70%, 60%, 6 months out from the election, when he should have done it right after they denied his bill. He waited too late. And so they used that against him. He was doing things that made it look like he was complicit with the re-election of Trump, in my eyes.
Yeah, but can I say something, man? We starting to do like the politician. We blaming Trump. We blaming Biden. We blaming Obama. Illegal immigrants has been crossing that border for decades.
That's true.
Decades, way before any of the four mentioned presidents that I named. So now all of a sudden it's a hot topic. But it's been going on for decades. So don't act like this is nothing new.
This is true.
The wild thing is that no one remembers when the Chinese came here. No one talks about the Italians coming here. No one talks about Irish coming here. No one talks about that.
But ma'am, I just said people were coming over the border for decades. That's everybody.
Okay.
Chinese, different Latino persuasions, Africans, Haitians, all type of people.
You forgot the
It's been happening. So this is nothing new. The only thing different now is the president that we have in office advertises everything he does. Had he not advertised what he was going to do for immigration, it would not be as big a deal.
I think it's a big deal. He even if he didn't advertise it, the fact that they are going overboard with it, and I mean, again, I'm going to say, and it doesn't matter who disagrees with me, they target brown people.
Well,
they literally stopped someone, and people had to yell, "He's a citizen! He's a citizen!" They don't.
But you never complain when they target black. Americans.
Let me hold on. Let me ask you this. Wait.
Hold on.
Let me ask you this. At what point in history have this many illegal or undocumented, however you want, softly you want to put it, how many illegal immigrants have came over to this country in such a short period of time?
Tons, Marcus, but
no. At what point in history did this many?
No,
thank you.
No,
thank you.
I agree with you. Here's what I think. As long as it was when we perceived who was coming across the border, we were fine with it. But now that we know it's terrorists, it's people who shouldn't be coming across, we have to security as well. We do it. You know what I'm saying? So I get what everybody's saying.
You're right. Going on when they unalive black American woman in South Carolina.
Okay, sir.
You didn't ask me. March. Please don't do that.
Don't argue with him. He was at the Cotton Club.
Okay. Yeah. At no point. And then the second part, The second part is once we got them over here, or once they came over here, once the last administration that was in let them over here in the droves that they were over here, what did they do? They assaulted a police officer, threw the middle finger up, didn't go to jail. They came over here, they turned their noses up at us. They didn't come over here and stick with us, not in a numbers. They didn't stick with us. Let me welcome.
And they unalived that Black American woman in South Carolina.
Okay. What is wrong? Why is BLK so hard to remember, y'all? Why? Why?
Marcus, I guess I have a question for you.
Hold on, he's getting ready to introduce another panel member.
Hey, before you do that, I'm gonna go ahead and take off, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for the dialect.
We
come back
every night, 11 p.m.
All right, man.
Central,
Thanks
brother.
again.
All right. Okay. You know what? Go ahead, ask your question, West V Spot.
I guess my question is, what about, so everyone can see, right? It's a two-part. Everyone can see who are the supposedly undocumented individuals because they are brown. What about the undocumented individuals who are a YT? Does anybody complain about them overtaking and coming across?
Okay, those are your two questions. That's your
That's
question.
one question. And then the second question is, when undocumented people come over, how would you expect them to stand or band with us when they are trying to, begin the process to get asylum, to begin the process to get their paperwork, and then to work to be able to make money to stay here? So, I mean, you can't expect them to really band together with us when they're coming into the country and trying to navigate, having the ability to stay here legally.
I don't think Marcus was talking about at that point in time. He's talking about once they've integrated into the society, whether they line up socially. Typically,
let me answer, brother. First part of your question, you said that so-called undocumented immigrants, they're not so-called at all. They are that laws were created in this country and they broke the law. That's just undeniable. I mean, you can deny it, but that is what it is. They came over here illegally across the border, because if it wasn't illegal, then there would be no need for other immigrants that did it the right way to have to do that. Everybody could just come over here that way. If it's so-called, it's not so-called, it's outright illegal. And as far as the white tea immigrants that you spoke of, they're not over here protesting and attacking police officers and burning up cars and getting my taxes raised. And what was the second part of your question?
So when we burn down our taxes go up too, that's okay too?
Well, when we burn down our communities because somebody lost his life. George Floyd lost his life. We don't just randomly burn down our community for no reason. We do it when we have to do what we have to do. When we're in pain. And that's just the way we express the pain that we feel as a result of being done so wrong for so long. And it's only so much a pipe can take before it bursts. And that's just pretty much how that goes.
To that, all the time, because the means whatever happened, the destruction and whatever happened while we're protesting, necessarily mean that it's coming from the people feeling the pain. A lot of times you get a lot of infiltrators in a movement to derail it.
That's true. That's true.
That happens as well.
That's true. That's very true. Even on these platforms, a lot of people don't think that it's infiltrators and law enforcement infiltrating, putting up these negative stereotypes against certain ethnic groups of people. Yeah, that is very true. Let me welcome Fireblaze. What was it, Mr. Ronald? You had something to say?
No, I was gonna say after him.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Hey, Fireblaze, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How's everything?
All right. Where you from, Mr. Fireblaze?
Oh, yeah. I'm originally from West Africa.
All right.
I'm a naturalized citizen of
Hey, how long you been over here?
over 24 years. I came here when I was 14. Now I'm in my 30s. Yeah.
Okay.
his 30s.
All right. What you got for us?
Yeah, what I got is that I did have some conversation with some of the brothers from the south who are actually coming to the border, and it was a long conversation actually. And it seemed like there's an agenda behind the whole thing. And the guy was speaking with boldness and looking at thieves that they are entitled to certain areas of this country, places like Los Angeles and Nevada and Texas, going to the history of how the United States went into war with uh, Mexico and acquired those lands.
Who was that? Who was that you was talking to?
Like I said, I don't want to say the group of people, just to the ones that are coming to the
But
south.
we need a context though as to what you're talking about. If you
Yes, our Latin
okay,
source, basically.
all right.
Yeah, so
You said our Latin brothers and sisters.
yeah, I mean, I just want to put it as kindly as I can,
Okay.
so that way, I mean, I wouldn't just try. The way you were saying it seemed like the soft invasion, to tell you the truth. The way he was putting it seemed like they have a plan to actually take those places back. So by him saying that, and by me seeing what I'm seeing, and he told me this in 2013. So by me seeing this now, I just reflect exactly what that guy told me and said, what if that guy was right? What if he was telling me something that was being spoken in the inside? And I see the way these people move. I used to work in a McDonald's as armed security or armed special police. And the way they move, they go and take the whole McDonald's and they hire only their own people. And I was there as special police, and usually people should not sit there more than 15 minutes. They should eat and go. But the manager makes sure that every Sunday they are having a group of them come there and hold a meeting. I don't know what the meeting is for, but they are very strategic. Okay? And every time I want to kick them out, it will make life a living hell for me. She will call my manager. She will call my superior and complain me, and I just gave up. I was like, okay. And it's not like my own people, they were not there. They were there too, but they rather me kicking my people out every 15 minutes. But those ones have privilege when they come. And then they hold a meeting of work of all life, all entity. They just sitting there talking, planning. I don't know how. I don't know what they're planning about. But me seeing this whole thing unfolding,
Okay.
got me a little bit scared, man.
All right. Thank you for that. Thank you
Yeah.
for that, First Lady.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for that. All right. Well, that's interesting that you witnessed that. You said that was in 2013. Yeah. Where did Mr. McBride go? He must have left.
Sometimes his phone dies and he just drops out.
Oh, here you go. Here you go. There's a doctor.
Mr. Ronald, Mr. Marcus, thank you so much for having me.
All right.
I'm going to go.
All right.
Well, B Spot, don't be a stranger.
All right. Have a good one, B Spot.
Place basically just said from what this is a to make up for what happens when most of the South was taken away and they're trying to get it back.
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting. And what if that is a plan?
But you know what? California is named after BLK woman. All of these states that they say that they had, they never had them. The indigenous people of those places was BLK people. And what are they taking back? Something that never belonged to them. So it's being very confused and very confusing. And the topic really is, in the conversation is, why nobody just stay and build up their territory and make that the greatest place, country, land on the planet? Why is that everything that BLK people, everybody do not like us? They live off of us. And we're alive along the way. That situation in South Carolina is not just the only one. It's all through California, it's all through the South. So basically, even with the mask, it even made us more dangerous with the diseases that they brought. So people don't know why they gotta keep masks on their face. So it's a lot, and and even when they talk about Phoenix and Jeff Williams just went bananas on one of them, in the audience. I was on tour with them, and it's just strange how people defend that. You can't defend something wrong. You gotta right in that sense. Everybody's always trying to take away from BLK things we built. And when we was building and fighting the fight and going through our changes, nobody stood with us. But they not no more, and they never did. We just was first because we are God's chosen people, and we people. And that's it. I land my plane, and thank you for the panel. God bless y'all. And I'm gonna get it done with me talking, and if my phone goes down a little bit, I want to say thank you and much love to the panel now. And I will everybody. And
Right.
thank you for letting me talk.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
User, you were on point.
Hey, let me welcome Diamond. Diamond.
Yes, it's Diamond.
Hey, Diamond, where you
Yes.
from, Diamond?
I am from Atlanta.
How you doing,
Local
Diamond?
Harris.
All right.
I'm
All
good,
right.
and I'm 49 years old.
All right.
Thank you for having me. Hello, everybody.
Welcome to
Hello,
the panel.
Diamond.
Hi. And I've been in the comments, but I just came up. I'm actually at work right now, work at a hospital in Atlanta. But I just had a little short story that I want to share with everyone.
And
Unfortunately now.
does it relate to the topic, Diamond? I don't want to get off the topic.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
Come
Yes,
on,
it
Diamond.
does.
Come on. We want to.
I was in 2018. Worked at a hotel, Holiday Inn, and housekeeper. And the staff was 95% Hispanic. I was hired on, and I don't have a problem with it, but they clicked up, and everybody they stuck together. Well, one day I came in and I looked at the schedule, and the Hispanic lead had put me off the schedule, put the new Hispanic girl on my schedule, gave her 5 days to put me down to 3 days. I'm saying this to say because we as BFK people have worked so hard to get where we are today. Just for them to come over asking, they didn't even speak English. I know they were illegal. They were over there undocumented. They were getting paid under the table. They come over here to it's like they're taking over, and they're coming up faster than we have worked so hard to get where we are, just for them to come over to take what we have worked so hard for. I don't mind people coming over to have a better life, but they must come over legally and do what we had to do to make a better life for our families. We're still fighting as Black BLK people to have a better life for our families, and it's like we're being overlooked and um expected to to help them fight their fight when we're still in our fight as BLK people. So I just wanted to say that because it kind of hit home for me. I was treated very badly by the Hispanic staff, and I felt like since I was the only BLK woman there, they kind of outnumbered me, and I was actually pushed out the door later on, and then the whole staff became 100% Hispanic, and it was at the Holiday Inn Hotel. So I just wanted to say that we just got to keep fighting as VLK people. And I didn't see any VLK faces out there fighting with them in California. I think it was good that we set this one out. We still have our challenges in our community that we're working on. So we can't lose focus on that. And that's all I want to say. I want to land my plane right there. Thanks.
Thank you for that, Diamond.
Okay.
Okay, BRA Brandy just became the 43rd member in the fan club.
Hold on one sec. Hold on one sec, Jordan. Hold on one sec, Jordan. Diamond. Yeah, and see, this is what I'm saying right here. It's too much testimony as to how these people act when they get in numbers. How it's too much to ignore. It's too much to just say maybe it's just that incident or maybe it's just that incident. It's just too much that too many people coming up here and too many people witnessing the way they act when they get in numbers and get in certain positions. It's not it don't warrant me to support them in any type of way because it lets me know how they gonna act. They're gonna turn around. They're gonna turn away. If I march with them, they're gonna get what they want to get and then turn away. We go over there and get march with them and help them get they illegal status turned legal, and they're gonna turn around and piss in our face. And it fooled me once. We did that. We
1,000%
did
right.
that. Yeah, we did that for the civil rights, and that's just I'm not going. But let me welcome Jordan Smith. George Smith. Well, okay. Where you from, Jordan? All right, all right. Welcome to the channel. When you look at that caption, what comes to your mind?
Well, I think it's true. But two, what is happening, which is Americans, we need to defend our country. We need to stand up for our country. We need to protect them. I just lost my tune.
That's okay. You that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. You could think about it and come back to us. Come on. Who was that? Real deal speaking?
No, that was me.
Oh, that was you, Mr. Ronald? Oh, come on, Mr. Ronald. One sec, Jordan. We'll, we'll come back to you. We'll come back to you, Jordan. Come on, Mr. Ronald.
Okay, if you do not at this time follow the live creator, you may do so anytime during the live, before and or after the live. Marcus Maxwell 406 is the name. Bring heart right besides his name. Also, if you'd like to help the live in reaching some of his live goals, hit the gold star to the bottom left of the screen. And please tap the screen. Also, please share this live out to as many people as you can during this live. We would appreciate it. We accept any gift, no matter how big or how small. We're very grateful for them. Also, you can subscribe to this channel, which would be very much appreciated, or you can become a fan club member of this Live Creators platform. We'd like that too, which is very inexpensive. But the cheapest thing to do in supporting this live, if you're enjoying what you're hearing, or if you're commenting on what you're hearing, please tap the screen. Help us reach our live goal. We are definitely within reach, and we really welcome all your participation, and we appreciate it. We're here every night, 11 p.m. Central. Back to you, Marcus.
All right. Thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
Let's welcome Mole Man up here. Mole Man.
How you doing?
All right. Where you from, Mole Man?
I'm from Arizona.
All right, Arizona in the house. What comes to your mind when you look at that caption, old man?
Oh, I don't know. Did you guys hear what happened in Dallas today?
Regarding what?
Reminds me of that a little bit. Kind of like the opposite of that. There was a protest today in Dallas, and the police force of Dallas joined in and participated.
Oh yeah,
in the protest. You did hear about that now. But I'm sure that the image that you have on the screen is the image that you want everybody to see.
Well, it's my panel.
You probably don't want them to see the police marching with the protesters.
Hold on.
Can I say him?
Hold on. Let the
One second. Okay, Mo man. Okay, you gotta. Looks like you got a channel. When you put whatever image you put up on yours, is that not a reflection of your thought? Just like just like the image. Hold on. Just like the image.
Definitely.
Just like the image.
Yeah.
Wait. Just like the image that we looking at, the mole, on your picture, is that not a reflection of your thought? So I mean, it was no. Don't make sense to state the obvious, but come on.
I mean, I'm a chameleon. I wear many hats.
I
So
wouldn't know
this
that,
is
but
me.
okay.
This is just one of the many characters I play. I'm an entertainer. I'm a performer.
Okay, you're an entertainer. I got you. All right, Mo. But
I
thank
have
you for that.
something to say to counter him. There's something that, because I know what he's talking about.
Uh-huh.
These policemen that you're talking about, most of them are Hispanic. I saw the whole thing. So
How does that counter it, though?
Is their people, of course, they're gonna join in. It's like BLK are protesting, and then some BLK cops to try to join. So it doesn't make any difference. It's their people, of course.
So you're saying that my statement holds less weight because you assumed
I didn't
majority. Hold on. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. You're interrupting me. All right. You're basically saying that because of their race, that it holds less weight. You're trying to say that my statement, that's your counter, is to say, well, they're this race, so your statement holds less weight. That's a pretty weak argument. You're basically pulling the race card and saying, well, it doesn't hold as much weight because they're this race. I mean, I'm sure that there were white cops too. I'm sure that there were Hispanic cops. You generalize their race, but yes, if they have a common struggle, if they know what it's like to be discriminated against their race, then yes, when they do see brown people being picked up by ICE because they have a quota and they didn't make 3,000 detainments a day, and they see brown people that are U.S. citizens being picked up, being kidnapped overnight, and they know what it's like to be brown. Yes, they're police officers, but they see that, and maybe they can empathize with it a little bit more than you can.
Okay, Mo man. So
Please.
okay, I got you, Diamond. I want to ask Mo. Wait, one sec, Mr. Blaze. So Mo man, do you support these illegal immigrants staying over here? Or are you in favor of them, are you in favor of them being here, or are you in favor of them being deported?
So I support people that have legitimate immigration claims that are doing their due diligence, showing up to their court dates, staying here because they're doing what they are needing to do. I don't support what's happening where this administration is doing a blanket denial on anyone that has an immigration case pending, dismissing all of them, doing executive orders blanket dismiss all the cases. So when these people show up to court, they already have applications on record. They're getting their cases automatically dropped, and they're
How did
immediately
they get over
So
here?
these are people.
Mo man.
So see,
Hold on, Mo man. How did they get over here in the first place? They got over here illegally. You got some background noise going on.
oh wow, I just got muted.
Yeah, because I was asking you a question. How did they get over here? Was it
So
legal? Was
actually,
it legal the way they got here?
so you know how
Was it
Cubans got here,
legal?
right?
Was it
Do
legal?
you know about
Was it
Cubans,
legal?
right?
We're talking about these people. Was it legal the way they
So
got here?
do you know that when a Cuban
Was it
Sets foot.
legal?
This is the legal
Hold on.
argument,
You're
right?
not asking the question.
Yeah. If you want me to answer your question, let me answer your question, and I'm
What
answering your
answer?
question.
Okay, was it legal the way they got over here? Yes or no?
That's what the court is to decide, because if they
No,
have a
it's
legal
not.
side,
No, it's not. We have laws.
no,
Hold on.
if
No,
you're
no.
gonna ask,
We got laws in this country where when you
hey,
come
if you're
over
gonna
to this
ask a
board,
question, don't interrupt. You
yes,
interrupted
yeah,
my answer.
you're not
No.
answering. You're not
It's
answering.
very disrespectful.
It's a
It's very
yes or
disrespectful. You
no. It's
obviously
a
don't
yes.
care.
Mo,
It's a yes or
Mo,
no.
listen, Diamond, let me ask you a question.
I
I'm
got you,
sorry to
Diamond.
interrupt.
Oh, one sec, Diamond. One sec, Diamond. He's a
You
we get
can't handle
we
my
get
answer. You couldn't handle listening to my answer.
we get people like you up here all the time who dance around, who don't answer questions directly. You guys just dance around. It's a very simple question that requires a very simple
How did
answer.
I not answer the question
Because
directly?
it was
You
not
repeat to me
direct.
my answer.
Can you repeat the answer?
Can you repeat what I answered? Do you know what I answered?
Yeah,
Even
you danced around the merry-go-round. Did they get over here legally, or were they over
well,
here?
you also interrupted me in the middle of my
Did they?
answer as well.
Because it
You've done
was.
this twice now. You've
Did
done
they
it
get?
twice.
Did they get over here legally or illegally? Is that a yes or no?
Some of them got here legally. As a
Some.
matter of fact,
Some.
according to the law. Yeah, according to the law. Do you know why
Okay,
Cubans,
we're
when they
talking
set
about
foot
the
on American
mass.
soil,
The mass
they are legally
majority.
allowed to be here?
The
Do you
mass.
understand this?
Hold
Do you
on.
understand
No,
why what happens when
I'm not concerned with that. I'm asking you a question. Did the mass majority of
wait. I just
immigrants?
asked you a question. You answered by saying I'm not concerned with
You
that.
didn't ask me you didn't answer my question. Did the mass majority of
So
immigrants
now you're changing the question to say mass majority.
did they come over here legally or illegally? We're talking about the mass majority. We
So
already
I've
know.
answered.
Hold
I've
on.
answered to you.
Hold on. We already know some of them came over here legally. We already know that because the ones that came over here legally are pretty much protesting against the ones that came over here illegally as well. So
That's not true. You say pretty much.
yes,
I asked you a question.
I've been in council meetings and I've heard them and I've seen them walk up to the stand and talk about how they got over here legally. They filled out the paperwork, they paid their dues, they took the test questions, and they did what they had to do to become an American citizen. And these
Okay.
people just walked over here across the border and they got a fast track and they became asylum seekers and undocumented have whatever soft nice phrase people want to give them.
But do you understand the law that allows Cubans
Yeah,
to
the
get
law,
citizenship?
the law. We're not.
Do you understand why Cubans?
Okay,
This
the
is my
mass
question. You
are
said
the
you're not
mass
concerned about it. But the answer.
are the mass majority of people that are marching, are they Cubans?
Matter.
Oh, now it doesn't matter. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mo, man. Come on, Diamond.
Hey, Mo, I just want to ask you a question real quick.
Come on.
Were you yes,
It's hard to hear you. It's hard to hear you, Diamond. You got a lot of background noise going on.
Can you hear me now?
So I actually had a question that wasn't answered, and I already answered two questions.
No, I just want to ask.
So when do I get to ask
that,
a question?
Go ahead. Are you that enthusiastic about when BLK people are going through their rioting and we're fighting for our rights and we're natural born citizens, been here forever, helped build this country, actually built this country. Were you that? Are you going to? Did you go that hard for BLK people like you're doing for illegal immigrants that are coming over here, trying to take? They're taking over. They're coming over here and they're rioting because most of them are illegal. Most of them are fighting, and they came over here, and they're not doing what they're supposed to do to become legal immigrants. So they're really fighting the government, and they're wrong. I don't see the hello.
Yeah, I don't see
why you're so excited about. How can you be so excited about?
Did you hear what I said? Okay, so you're saying I'm going
hard, but you're you're very hyped on helping the illegal immigrants in their fight when they're illegal. The thing is, if they come over legally,
no, you're mischaracterizing. So may I answer you without being interrupted?
Sure.
Because the last two questions I was asked, I was interrupted halfway through my response. First of all, I'm going to say that you're mischaracterizing what I stand for and what I say. That's called a straw man argument, right? Because you can't defeat what I was actually saying. I was doing a critique on how ICE is going about their business, right? I don't have a problem with coming down on immigration. However, America is one of the hardest countries to get a visa for, to immigrate to. It didn't used to be this way. If you know what the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882 is, this is when we first enacted immigration policies. Okay, so I'll answer you why I go harder for these people. The majority of these immigrants that are coming over are more indigenous than you or anybody on this. Most people on this panel. Any white person from Europe, you guys came from Europe. The majority of people that are crossing right now, they are indigenous people. They are crossing their ancestral homelands, their ancestral continent. I live close to the border of Arizona, Mexico, and the Tohono O'odham people border cross their reservation. They cross their ancestral homelands, and the ones in Mexico are Mexican, and the ones in America are American.
That's not true. Come on now. The indigenous people, the people that were here, they're not indigenous. They're not indigenous to this land. That's not
Oh, you're talking about the Central American people? You don't know. They're Mayan people. Reason why their skin is dark, if you look at a Spaniard, Spaniards are pretty white. The reason why these people coming across from Central America are dark skinned is because they are descendants of Mayans and Aztec people. Okay? And other tribes. So to say they're not indigenous,
And they are all
ignorant you are.
Africans.
You're ignorant.
They are
You're
all
not
African.
indigenous.
The first human person was in Africa.
Do
If
you
want to get technical? They all come from
okay. Yeah, that's
African people.
So
So if
pivot.
you want to, I mean,
But-
you want
but
to
literally-
get technical though.
Literally, I think this guy just tried to sit Central American
At the
people
end of
aren't
the day,
indigenous.
you cannot pivot.
Who
They are
said that? Who
illegal.
said that?
And
That Central
they're
American.
illegal, and if they're illegal, they have to follow the rules.
No,
We
but
have to
I'm
follow
curious.
the rules.
Who
And when
said?
stuff on, as paying citizens, paying taxpayers, we have to put the bill to get things revealed. Now,
Actually, they
okay,
pay more
so
tax.
I'm not
They pay
gonna
a lot
say-
of taxes as
I'm not-
well.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
This
they
guy
pay work way too.
is not
All right, so
an
I want to know
person.
who
The
on this
indigenous
people just
people
tried to say
of this
that-
land are BLK people. You don't even know what you're talking about.
Who's the one that tried to say that the people
Indians
of Central
are
America?
BLK people.
Who's trying to say that they're not indigenous people? Who's saying that?
Who's saying it?
You're saying it. You think that the Central American people are not indigenous people?
Absolutely not.
Okay, this guy literally thinks that the dark-skinned people from Central America are not indigenous.
Black people. That's what California
BLK user.
is named after a BLK woman.
I just want to know how many people in this live know that Central American people and most Hispanic people have high percentages of Native American blood.
But do you know Native
Who
American
knows
people?
that? I'm curious.
Dude,
'cause
hold
this guy-
on, man. You can't have
you guys got some serious ignorance in this panel.
So you can't
Listen. Hold on.
take over the
Hold on, user.
It's called schooling y'all.
Hold on. You ain't schooling nobody, man.
No, the guy
Who
literally
made you
just
the expert? Do you know there are user? Come on, dude. Do you know that in Central America they're indigenous to that land? Not all of them are indigenous to America. Some of them are indigenous to Central America.
Oh, you just said Central America. These are the Americas, bro. That's why I have a
Whatever,
problem with the Gulf of
Whatever.
America
You
having
want to
its
be
name
smarter
changed.
than everybody.
So did you know that Mexicans
you really
this
not.
is the problem?
do we just skip the legal process for them to be over here? You can say all this stuff,
And you don't even know there's people that are right on the
Do
border.
we just skip over the process of them being over here legally?
No, I agree.
That's the bottom line.
I agree with process.
Because at the end of the day, that's why ICE is out there.
I agree with processing people.
Listen, the good is out there with the bad.
No. ICE is out there because
But
Trump is
guess what? If the good is out there and the bad is out there,
ICE is out there because Trump is a white
and
supremacist.
the good is next to them. They both of them got to go together.
So what can you say about U.S. citizens being deported? What can you say about U.S. citizens being detained? Like, if you get detained by ICE and have to stay overnight because they confuse you with somebody because they have a quota, right? Quotas are always historically shown to cause mass arrests and arrests that aren't meant to happen. So, if any of you get arrested by ICE
Hold
because
on
you're
one
mistaken
second.
identity, right? Are you just going to take one for the team and suck it up and be happy about it?
I'm not sucking anything.
Or
Hold on.
if they arrest you, if ICE detains you, are you going to be happy about it? Are you? There hasn't been a whole city. What I'm going to say about this image right here is
Diamond,
there's
you
only a
going
few
back
cop
to-
cars burned.
Well, Diamond, I can barely hear you. If you come back to the mic.
So there was
It's just a way for one day that they're supposed to do it.
and you want to mischaracterize
Mo,
people
man,
got
quit
propaganda
talking
being
over
drilled in your
everybody.
head.
Give somebody else a chance to speak.
No, I'm saying is, Mo, you're not supposed. It's not right for legal citizens to be deported. No, it's not right. Be detained. But at the end of the day, the Constitution says we all get due process. Now, I am for due process, and I am against them deporting people that are.
Well, they were just trying to do away with it.
Wait your turn, Mo, man.
Please, I promise I won't speak while you speak. But at the end of the day, when you have people that are over here,
Diamond, you need to stay close to your mic, ma'am.
sorry, when you have people that are over here getting paid under the table, they're over here illegally. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. They're committing crimes to people that legal citizens. You got Lincoln Riley. You got a whole gang of people, United States citizens here that have been victimized from illegal citizens. What are we supposed to do? Just lay down and just let it happen?
Did you know that immigrants are less likely to commit crimes than U.S. citizens?
Okay, but guess what?
So you're
right.
making it
Listen,
sound
no,
like
you're
you're more
right. No, listen.
So
No, listen.
I let you talk. I let you talk.
Today,
So you're mischaracterizing them.
I was not
You're
finished.
mischaracterizing them
At the end of
as
the day,
criminals.
no, at the end of the day, guess what? We're going to have crime citizens from our own country. We have some messed up people in our country. They are citizens, and we have to deal with those citizens as we come about them. But at the end of the day, how much more do we have to deal with when we have the citizens of the United States that we have to deal with on top of illegal citizens coming over here committing crimes?
Here, I'll tell you.
Why can't they stay over there in their own country and commit the crimes, and instead of coming over here? See, what's happening is
You just asked 3 questions.
country that Mexico was happening.
You just asked 3 questions.
And the president is pushing their crime, their people that commit crimes.
You're sounding far away again, Diamond.
That's false. It's actually false. It's
She's pushing them over here because she would rather.
Fucking Fox News do you watch?
Yeah, it's
Honestly.
Hold on,
she's like,
hold
Lincoln
on.
Riley. Literally, you sound programmed.
Hold
much
on.
Fox News
Hold
do you
on.
watch?
Okay, hold on,
I
y'all.
understand. This is what I know.
All right.
Because
So you said
if
due
it
process.
wasn't,
Trump
they
is
would
trying to not have due
Hold
process.
on,
All right, they
hold
want to
on,
suspend the habeas.
hold on. Let me welcome Dizzy
So
Nut.
how do you feel about
Let
them
me-
suspending habeas corpus?
Dude, man, the creator told
How
you
do
to
you?
hold
I've
your
not asked a
horses.
single question.
Drop them.
Dizzy, hold on, y'all. Just everybody, take it, calm down. I don't need nobody to tell me when to drop people either. Just let me do this. Let me stick this duck. You just hold the tail for me. Let me welcome Dizzy Net to the panel. Dizzy Net, how you doing, Dizzy Net? Dizzy Net, going once, Dizzy Net.
You gotta unmute me. Thanks. Honestly, I think what you're saying is
Where you from,
right?
Dizzy Net? Where you from?
I'm from California.
All right. Calm down. Take a chill.
I'm calm.
All right. When you look at that caption, what comes to your mind?
You do realize that illegal immigrants, they don't commit as much crimes as our actual naturalized citizens, right?
Okay, what was the first word you used? You said illegal immigrant. That was the first thing you said.
That's what you're using to describe them, so I'm using your language.
When did I say that? It says immigrant.
It says
What does it say?
using that.
Nope. What does it say on the caption?
Okay, so what's your what's your argument for immigrants disrespecting the American flag?
First of all, they shouldn't be here.
The picture shows it's upside down. That's disrespectful.
Actually, if you have any idea of history, American history, you would know that the upside down flag is a symbol for a nation in distress. It's not disrespectful.
Well, okay, Disney. Now,
Okay, well, why didn't they hold their flag
Come on,
upside
Simon,
down?
let the creator speak.
I'm sorry.
Did you know that that was a symbol for distress in America? I'm asking.
So why aren't they
Yeah, if
holding?
we're under attack.
Yeah, we do. We do know that.
And do you not think that the military attacking its own citizens is not under attack?
Why is the military involved? Why?
Because
Why
Trump sent them out there.
Okay, why? The Trump sent them out there after who?
I'm going to assume that you've never been to any protests.
After who? Who did Trump send them after?
I'm going to assume that you haven't been to any protests.
That was a question.
And I'm going to assume that you get all of your information from Fox News or anything similar.
Okay, let me help you out. Trump sent them after the illegal immigrants. They came into this country illegally. They broke the law when they came over here. And when they came over here, they decided to protest and demand the right to stay here. However, I'll ask you, and I would not really ask you, I'll just put this rhetorical question to you as I've done with so many other people, myself, yourself, and 398 other people can go to Mexico and do the same thing and will not get the same results. Let us go to Mexico, carry the Mexican flag upside down, and burn a couple of Mexican cars, and let's see how many Mexican citizens stand with us while we do that. Ask yourself that question.
We'll wait.
Jacob?
All you have to do is type your screen and mute yourself.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, you can unmute yourself. Let me welcome, while she figure that out, let me welcome Jason Smudge. Because I could say, hold on one sec. One sec, Dizzy Nat. Let me welcome
You
Jason.
said I could speak, so I'm speaking,
Well, I'm
right?
saying, let me welcome Jason Smudge. If you can't respect the panel, then I'm going to bid you a good night. Jason Smudge. What? All right. Where you from, Jason Smudge?
Jacob, close enough, though.
All right, Jacob, Mr. Jacob. All right. Where you from, Jacob?
Sounds greater Watson.
All right. What comes to your mind when you see that captain?
You know, as a resident of the greater LA area, I'm surrounded by a lot of El Salvadorian. I help remember a Mr. Oscar Romero. Do you remember Oscar Romero?
What did he do?
He was a priest in El Salvador, and he was unalived by an American trained squad of people who were trained at schools of America. He committed the ultimate crime, championing for peace in his country. He was unalived, along with multiple villages who were completely unalived by the American trained squad of people. And the El Salvadorians that I speak to here in LA, they call this the time of trouble for their country. And it was completely created by our CIA and the School of America, or what's now called WINSEC, still operational terrorist training camp in the United States.
Hey, Jacob, be mindful of the words that you use. This is TikTok.
Sorry. Sometimes when I say is, people have no idea what I'm talking about.
Well, we'll know, but we're not. This is not a adult. This is more of a kid friendly platform. One sec. This is a kid-friendly platform. We're just using it as we see fit. However, we have to be mindful of that at all times. Because before I allow the platform to get flagged, I would have to drop you. And if I would like to hear what you have to say, but you have to say it in a certain way. Okay.
Also, Mr. Manuel Zelaya from Honduras, who was removed from service. Then the regime that took over.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jacob, but you need to stay on topic, sir. It's not.
Okay. Well, I'm explaining to you why they come here. They come here because,
sir. He asked you to read the caption. Yes. Your opinion on that. That is
okay. Well, okay. So, pertaining to the topic, Mr. Mike Epps, who I enjoy very much, said, if you're doing crime, stay to make money. Continue doing that because America is a criminal state, and that's 100% true. This is a criminal state and we tee this entire hemisphere.
All right, thank you for that. Come on, Dizzy. Dizzy, you can unmute yourself, Dizzy. Just
I know.
okay. Come on.
I was waiting for a turn to speak since every time I speak, you mute me. So
I just said, come on, Dizzy. You got it.
right. So the American flag upside down is a symbol of distress in the United States. And I would say that we're in pretty stressful times here in the United States. Would you agree?
Okay. What you got? Come on.
We've been in stressful times.
Correct. America was founded by colonial slavery. You know that, right? It's been since the foundation of this country. And you know that California was land taken from Mexico, as well as Texas. America annexed it. So no, I don't think that immigrants are being disrespectful.
Okay.
As of today, as we speak today, Texas and California belongs to the United States. So
yeah,
as we speak
it was
today,
annexed.
today,
It was annexed.
hold on.
No, you can't talk over me. It was annexed.
What do you mean?
It was annexed. It's stolen land.
Stop talking. You stop talking.
No.
So yeah, you stop
You're
talking.
lying. That's why. You're lying.
Still got to give her a chance to express her opinion, please.
Her opinion's wrong.
What do you mean lying?
Matter. It's her opinion.
So what does California belongs to who? Does California belong to United States? As of 5, 11,
are on stolen lands. Do you understand that?
Okay, so if that's the case, then Europeans are on stolen land. What is your race?
I am Mexican American.
At the end of the day,
I am Mexican American. That makes me native to this land.
Okay, so that does not make it right for people to come over illegally, because regardless of what you say, stolen or not stolen, you're going to have a problem with the American government, because you cannot just come over here the way you want and take over.
That's what we did. That's what we did in 1942.
No, so you think that's what you're going to do in 2025?
I'm sorry.
I
think that actually is a comparison that's what you should make right now.
No, what I'm asking is, do you think that's going to happen now? Because if that's what you think, then you're going to have a lot of unalive beings.
I'm answering the question that's on the. I'm answering the question that he asked me. Actually, I don't think that. So don't put words in my mouth. Thank you.
No, I didn't put words in your mouth. But the bottom line is, people need to. This is like you. Are you going to go to a store and go and steal something and expect, just because you were hungry, them not to arrest you? No, it doesn't happen like that. Yeah, you were hungry, but you went and stole something. So if they're coming over here illegally, yeah, I sympathize in trying to have a better life. But they must. It's things that they must do to become legal. The people that are coming over here, mainly that are illegal, it's the illegals are the criminals.
Do you realize that
the ones that come over here that want a better life?
A criminal offense? Do you know that?
Oh, it's legal?
Do you know that being undocumented
yeah,
is
that-
not a criminal
No,
offense?
but we know that coming across that border without authorization is a criminal offense.
Okay, that's
Do
what
you-
I just
is
said.
that is
Being
that right?
undocumented is not a criminal offense.
Coming across that border? Oh, so coming across
What do you
the
think being undocumented means?
what do you think? Don't condescend me because I'll drop your ass. We show some respect.
No, seriously, what do you think being undocumented
Seriously,
means?
show some respect.
You think I'm being disrespectful because I'm right and you're wrong.
Coming across the border, is that legal or illegal?
It's a civil offense. It is not a criminal offense.
It's not. It's
It is not a criminal offense. You can look at the law.
No, you need to look it up because if it was a civil offense, then they wouldn't have to. Well, it's still against the law. Is it
First
against
of
the
all, it
law?
has the
now?
word
It's a
offense.
civil offense. What part are you not
The word
understanding?
offense. What does the word offense mean? Offense means that you're doing something wrong.
Okay,
At
so
the
have
end
you
of
ever
the day,
jaywalked in your
whether
life,
it's-
Diamond? Have you ever
At
jaywalked
the
in your
end of
life?
the
Have you ever
and-
paid your
and it
taxes
was-
late, Diamond?
I have, and guess what? And it was wrong
And guess
for me
what?
to do it.
That's against the law. You also
That's
broke the
correct.
law.
You are so
It's
right.
also
Guess
a
what I had to do?
civil offense.
When I did my taxes, late, guess what happened? When I did my taxes late, I had a penalty to pay. If I did not pay that penalty,
You think that
yes, sir.
undocumented immigrants
Let me
don't pay taxes or something?
Dizzy Nat, you're wrong.
Guys,
First
guys,
of
can I
all,
answer
You
this?
brought up
one
taxes, though.
second. Dizzy, coming across the border is not a civil offense, as if you can just sue because you got caught or something like that. No, it's a federal crime. It's a
Wrong.
federal offense.
You're uneducated and
you
you're
need to-
loud and wrong.
No, you need look it up. Look it
It's
up.
an international crime, international law.
One
Stated that
second.
every province.
Dizzy, look it up. And
You
then
guys are loud
look
and
it up.
wrong, and it's
Look
so
it up.
embarrassing for you.
No, you're embarrassing yourself because you're sounding not educated. Look it up. All you got to do is look it
You
up.
don't look it up because you clearly don't understand the.
I already did look it up, young lady, and you don't know what you're talking about. You're saying that coming across the border.
That's really
you're
rich
saying,
coming from you.
You're saying coming across the border illegally is a civil offense. No, that's not true. It's a federal
Civil
crime.
offense. Look
That's
it
why
up.
if it was a civil offense,
If it was
the
a civil offense,
president
why
wouldn't
is
be
it
able to.
so much?
One second, Diamond. The president wouldn't be able to call out. The president wouldn't be able to deport him the way he's doing if it was civil. It's criminal.
What you're doing right now is unconstitutional.
I have a question I'd like to. So, we know that the rich people that run our country, they want these immigrants to come here for labor. They want them to do the agricultural work. They want them to do the meat packing. They want them here. The rich people who run the country want them here, right? So why do you think there's a media storm against our immigrant laborers? Why do you think this is such a huge hot topic? Do you think it's just to rally voters? Do you think it's like what is the purpose of persecuting our immigrant laborers? I don't understand. I mean, I understand it in a political sense because it worked for Trump. Like most Republicans say they vote because of it, but it's counterintuitive to the people who actually run our country. Like they want them here. We begged them to come here in the 90s to do our agricultural work. We After NAFTA destroyed the livelihoods of millions of them, Clinton actually bolstered up the border and the border patrol. So we know that the rich people want them here. The politicians use them as a scapegoat, or they're using them for votes, or it's just part of a long history of white supremacy in the country. I don't understand the hatred we have. They're just laborers. They go to jobs to pick these people up.
It's not hatred. It's not hatred. It's just plain and simple of doing what you're supposed to do to be able to live a normal life, but to be able to live a life, to be able to take care of your family. How can you want to take care of your family and you're under illegal circumstances? This is like a convict hiding out trying to live under the radar and work a job. You can't do it. You're gonna always run into problems.
There's a conflict.
They want it that way, so they can press them.
You are so correct. You are so correct. You are so correct. There is a convict in office, but at the end of the day, a convict that's in office, he is in office. And I did not vote for him, but what I am against people that are here not paying taxes when they are getting their money. They're sending it back home to build up Mexico instead of spending money here in America. It's like they're using our country for their own good. They're over here fighting to live over here, and that's not right. Especially to be okay people. We have been fighting so long to get where we are with no boots or straps. Okay, we have.
Miss Diamond, let's
go ahead.
Give somebody else on the panel a chance to speak. Go ahead, Fireblaze.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Guys, what I'm saying is this legal status thing that people are talking about. There's an international law inside of the UN Charter that gives all countries their sovereignty. Now, if that country decide for you to come to the United States, let me say example, America, the United States, gives you the chance to come with this, which is like the lottery system, then that's fine. It's America giving you the right to come to their country and come and pay taxes and help bring the economy. That's a legal way of doing it. But once you go beyond that, it's an international law that you're breaking. You are going through somebody's red line. Because that line, that border is a red line. There's a law. Once you cross that borderline, you are now criminal. A national criminal. You're not even a Muslim. So whatever that lady is talking about, or it's just like a ticket or local. No, this is international crime. You're like
I have a question.
You're
Can I answer quickly?
I haven't even have my chance to.
Go ahead, Jacob.
I know you want to talk, but let me make my point so maybe you can understand where I'm coming from. There's a rule. If a country said we don't want you here, you're crossing our border illegally, they have all right to defend themselves. And if you want to force yourself to a country that said they don't want you, and then you're forcing yourself the way you do, now you can be labeled as an invader. And Donald Trump has all rights to label them even as the P word, if he wants to right now. Because the international crime under the UN Charter, the sovereignty of the United States is
okay. Fireblaze, you're gonna have to land soon, man.
Yes, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is.
I agree with you, Fireblaze, that we need to respect international law. And another UN charter is the right to self-determination, which we have subverted in many of the nations in Central and South America, from Guatemala to Nicaragua. We all remember Iran-Contra, right?
Right.
Do we remember the coup in Honduras? Do you remember what happened to Haiti just a few years ago? The perpetrators were trained in this country. We do not abide by international law. We do not allow self-determination in this
with all
hemisphere.
due respect, sir, we are not discussing international law.
I mean,
Ronald, he brought it up.
Wait, but are you? I'm trying to see. Wait a minute. Are you trying to say that the immigrants are that's their justification because it's everybody else does it, so they should be able to do what they're doing? Are you saying they're justified?
My argument is that
what they're saying the policies of this government have these countries, and that has pushed these people towards
Exactly. I mean, does anybody want to leave their home country? Does anybody really want to do
Well,
this?
why are they fleeing over here? I mean, why don't they just why are they fleeing over here in the first place? I don't understand that part.
If you're gonna leave your country, are you gonna settle for the
Let me
next
ask
tourist, or are
Dizzy
you
that.
gonna
Let
go to
me
where
ask
the
Dizzy why
resources of your country
because
are?
Dizzy, wait a minute.
Can I
So
speak?
yeah, go ahead. Why are you guys fleeing over here?
Can I speak? I
Yeah,
just want
that's
to
the
say
question.
that
Why are you
American
why are you
imperialism has
but why are you
greatly
fleeing?
ruined many other countries.
Why
That
don't you
is why
if
people
that's the
come to
case,
America, because they are promised a better life here.
okay, so that's why you're fleeing over here, but that's not the
I was
that
born here.
you were born here? Is that
Yes.
oh, your parents were born here?
No, they are
Well,
immigrants.
your parents fled over here and they anchored you over here.
They wanted a better life for me.
Okay, they fled over here and anchored you here. You're an anchor baby. So I get it. I get it. I
You know, I
understand.
have a question for you. How do you guys feel about ICE waiting outside of courtrooms to detain people who are just attending their naturalization hearings? They're going through the legal route and they're still being deported. Why?
Well, we don't know that. That's your
Yeah,
opinion.
It's
exactly.
not.
Can I ask a question real quick, and then I'm about to drop
No,
down? I just
hold on,
want to ask
Diamond.
one question.
Hold on, Diamond. Miss
Go ahead.
Daisy,
Go
with
ahead.
all due respect, you don't know each one of those individuals' cases. You are not
But
stating.
they're showing, okay, listen, they're showing up to court.
emotions.
They're showing up to court when they're asked. Okay,
How
is
do
that
you
not
know
through the
this?
legal route?
How do you know this?
Because they're showing up
That's
to court
Fox
and
News.
being arrested.
You don't know
Fox
that.
News.
I do know that.
Fox News.
I've seen it happening.
No, you haven't seen. Come on. Come on.
I have seen it.
Come on.
Maybe just because you're in an echo chamber, I'm sorry, you should really get out more.
You should really learn that people are not stupid to believe everything that you say. Stop watching
People
Fox
are
News.
being arrested for going to their naturalization hearing.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
This round, and I'm about
Right
to drop down.
now, that's why
Real quick, let me ask you
One
easy.
sec.
Reported.
Wait,
Let me ask you a question.
let's hear Diamond's question.
Real quick, I'm about to drop down. Busy, let me ask you a question. Don't you think it's hurting them more by being out, picking up charges, rioting? Already, Trump is trying to take people for very little things, but now guess what? They're out there looting and rioting and all that. So guess what? The ones that are illegal are picking up charges, and the ones that are illegal are doing more crime. So guess what? At the end of the day, when this is all said and done, Trump is going to get what he wants because it's going to be a lot of immigrants and a lot of Hispanics and Mexicans that have picked up charges throughout this riding time. And guess what's going to happen? They're going to be deported to somewhere that their families don't even know where they are. Am I playing? I'm about to drop down.
All right, Diamond.
Have a good night.
You gotta fight what's right, though.
Just addressing
well,
Hold on,
immigrants' disrespect.
hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Let me Song is up here. So come on, Song. Go on, man.
can I just say one thing really fast?
One sec, Dizzy. Let him speak, then you'll get your say.
Immigrants district. Marcus Serrano, can you just help me real quick be on the same page with what I'm saying the thing. I just want to make sure I'm reading the room right. It says immigrants disrespect American flag. What's the question? I guess.
What's your thoughts on them with the American flag hanging upside down? Do you think it's
All of that's fine. We need to get out of this. All that. Now Trump can't. He's the executive branch, right? Not the legislative. That's Congress. So, but Congress is full of Republicans right now, so he can influence them greatly to say if something gets to become a crime or not a crime if they're illegal. But yeah, you can't. I mean, it's just why would you come up to a place, want to beg to be at a place, and that's like me coming in your house, wanting to be in your house because I got a better family structure, all of this stuff, and then I come in there and I want to be able to throw the dishes around and do all kinds of crazy stuff because of my whatever emotion I got going. Well, that's cool, but you can just get out and do that. I mean, you could do it if you're free to do it. You just don't have to be here. You can get out. Oh, this place is so terrible, and you guys got way too much family structure. We understand. Get out. No, we want to stay. Well, listen, you can't have it both ways. That's not how life works. So you don't get to tear up the place, burn it, everything that we stand for. It's a lot of
statutes around the flag itself. Not a lot. It's a couple. But yeah, I don't think it's okay for people to burn flags and stuff like that. Let's let Miss Dizzy go ahead and have her little speech.
Actually, one of the statutes of the American flag is that you're supposed to burn it if it touches the ground.
Dizzy, you are breaking up badly.
To wear clothes.
She's at Wendy's right now.
No. Who's that? Karen Walt? No, you're listening to TikTok.
Somebody said we did it at the
Yes,
okay.
this is real,
I didn't
Karen
think
Walt.
right now, so.
Oh no, I was live on YouTube as well, y'all. So I was answering the YouTube.
You're live on YouTube too?
Yeah, and I was answering somebody's they asked me are they listening to AI? No, these are real people with real thoughts talking. This is not AI.
You haven't been in a while until Dizzy can situations right now.
I appreciate it, Ron. I'm sorry for the background noise. Sitting in construction. So, as you guys know, I'm half Native American. And I found it interesting when Izzy brought up about this land is stolen. And so I'm starting to think here, and I'm starting to wonder. There's a difference between conquered and stolen. Like my family was slaughtered, and we were conquered. So then, with everything going on right now, is this basically, Izzy, are you basically saying it's okay to steal the land back? Or are you saying this is an act of WAR?
Cowboy, I don't even know if she can hear you.
What you got, Dizzy? What you got? What you want to add? What you want to say, Dizzy?
teacup.
Dizzy didn't laugh.
She's still here. I don't know if she can hear or not.
Still here, and I don't think that's right what you're saying.
You understand what I'm getting at, right? Because the country wasn't stolen, it was conquered. Just like my family was slaughtered, it was conquered. And my family accepted that, but you keep on bringing up about the country being stolen. So then are you...
What's the difference?
No, it's a tremendous difference. I don't think you hear what he's saying. And
explain it then.
Well, I'm going to help you. So this is the way the planet works, right? That's why we call it the human race. And so it's very similar to football. So when I run up the field and I stomp all over you and the score is 55-5, you understand. So if there's some land and somebody says, I want it, and you says, I don't want you to have it. This is period. This is what we're...
Wait. I'd like to answer this.
Whether we morally like it or don't like it, it wasn't designed to... You gotta wait your turn, Jacob. Morally, it wasn't the creator's design for us to be acting like that at all. But we're talking about what exists as people. And so what he's saying is we were conquered. And so sometimes people try to act like they're victim and cool. There were two people going at it. And one of them, it didn't work out for them. It wasn't like they just sat and laid. No, they were going for it for a while. And one group lost.
Okay, so can I answer?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so there was at one point there was like WAR between the colonies and the Iroquois, and then I forget the tribe in Florida, but we also made war with them. But for the last 150 years, 200 years, it's been, we move them. They're part of our project, but they're in reservations. We move them to this area. We slaughter them all, and then we move them to this other area, and then we K them all again. And that's been the story for like the last 150 years. Even up until the 1970s, we're still stealing their ability to reproduce. So it's not so much conquer as it is extermination.
No, today it's all about choice.
It's literally genocide.
It's not. You can manipulate people's choices. You can position people to make poor choices.
But in the 1970s, we were still forcibly sterilizing indigenous people.
Well, yeah, I think it's fine. I think we have food deserts in the BLK community, but that's still your choice to decide to go down to the corner store and buy 98% all processed foods when you can go 5 miles up the street, literally 5 miles up the street, and 7 minutes in drive and actually go into a grocery store and then say, woe is me that I crossed the street to go into this food desert. Well, it's cool, but you still have a choice. You can take your hind parts
get on a train, a bus, or Uber, and go grocery shopping. You can actually do that. So I agree that there are targets, there are agendas for people to be in power and for targeting people, but that target still does not devoid a choice. You still got a choice.
Yeah, but
I feel like we're circumventing from the topic, by the way.
Come on, Mr. Song, let him go ahead and respond.
All right.
Well, they know that statistically, if you do something, yes, these individuals have a choice to do something to, further their status in life, but they know that statistically it's still a win for their group. And we see that with gerrymandering in Texas and all kinds of other initiatives. Yes, the individual can still fight for his agency, but as a whole, statistically, they know that what they're doing is going to work.
Okay, Miss Dizzy, are you where you can speak now?
Yeah, Miss Dizzy, mighty quiet over there. What?
What would you like me to talk about? You guys keep saying I'm wrong, everything I say.
Ma'am, you talking, you're going to have the panel. Nobody's going to interrupt you.
We're listening.
That's been a lie this whole time.
Huh?
I've been interrupted every time I've talked.
And you have interrupted others. So if you have anything to say, please go ahead and say it.
I don't think it's disrespectful to fly the American flag upside down. I think that if you think that's disrespectful, you don't know American history.
Is that it? I mean, nobody wants to interrupt you. Is that it? Or once you finish, just say, she left. That's
Honestly, I was hoping my question would be answered. I'm half Native American and I serve my country. I mean, seriously, I think I'm curious. She keeps on bringing up stolen land. So everything that's going on right now, is it an act of WAR? Are they trying to steal it back? First, say.
Absolutely not. I would like to say also to the prompt, I don't believe as a working class American, you actually have a state. You don't have representatives that care about you. You don't have agency. Our state, the American state, it perpetuates, it keeps you in a position that you can go back to work. That's all. That's as much as they're willing to provide you with your tax money. Is enough resource to return to work to serve the people who actually run the country, which are the very wealthy.
But you know how many businesses there are? We make up 4% of the planet. You know, it's a little teeny place. How many businesses we have? 33. We have 30. We make up 4% of the entire planet. That's how teeny we are. But this little teeny place has almost half of the planet's millionaires. We have 33 million businesses. What are you talking about? Who's holding you down?
The 9,000 centillionaires that have over $100 million.
Bro, you have the same right to go build something great for your family tomorrow. Figure out a service for people in need. Figure out Marcus and I, we don't always agree, but we both are entrepreneurs. So you can figure out a way. What do the people need? I'm
not talking about myself. I'm not talking about in the individual sense. I'm just saying as a whole, the American state doesn't operate at the behest of the people of the country. It operates at the behest
of foreigners coming in here and building their lives in 5 summers. That's not.
So Jacob, what country does anything for their people?
Well, I mean, most developed countries have a healthcare system. It's public and it works.
And their taxes are 10 times higher than ours.
Yeah, but if they lose their job, they're not homeless.
Yeah, but they lose. What do you think they trade off for that? Because I've been to nations like that. Where they had them free phones and they had them free apartments, and what do you think they trade off for that so-called freedom from government? Do you think governments give? That's an oxymoron. The government giving you freedom. Governments don't give freedom. You give yourself freedom. Governments take away freedom.
You said, I never said anything about freedom. All I said is, it'd be nice to have my tax money.
Well, you started bringing up other countries. And you start talking about what they get in healthcare. And
Ronald brought up other countries.
Yeah, he's right. I did bring it up. Okay. Guys, let's give Mr. McBride a chance to chime in.
Mr. Ronald. I just continue to say, just following the prompt, is that as a BLK person in community, it's like I'm not concerned about that flag that's being disrespected right there because that flag has disrespected me and mine for hundreds on hundreds of years in this country. So until those things are addressed, I'm not worried about that flag being turned upside down by some people. Who, a lot of us who are angry about that feel that they haven't gained the equity or equality that it takes to do such a thing. That's what we're really discussing here, is that these people haven't earned the right to do that. And that's what this is about. Not that this flag has been a bane to us as people here. We're worried about them and the equity and the equality of them carrying that flag that has disrespected us. And so I don't even know what we're arguing about here. This flag has done nothing but smother us since we've been here, and we're worried about these people who are disrespecting it. Like, I just don't get it.
Okay, real deal. Are you still with us? Real deal. Are you still with us?
Real deal going once. All right, just come on back up when you're ready for us. Real deal. Okay.
The only reason I disagree, right, is because BLP is a cornerstone to America. BLP, America was built on BLK's map. And so I think it's a slap to BLK's face to everything that you guys have done to build America the way it is now. That's why I disagree with you.
Well, I want to chime in on this since I hadn't had a turn to say anything. And I just want to say, we didn't have a choice. Stay here, go back to our homeland. We didn't have a choice. Oh, let me work here a little while and send money back to my homeland. We came here, we didn't have a choice, period. And we didn't riot in the streets or did nothing. We had to pull ourselves up like the suspenders, stay here where we are, make the best out of what we had, which was nothing. We had to make the best out of nothing. And on top of making the best out of nothing, we were able to create some rights. Then the rights that we created and fought and unalive for, others came and took advantage of and looked down on us. And we are the reason that they have the rights that they have in this country. So if you want to say, oh, they should be here, they can be there, you can say it. But I say, why can't they do what we did? We stayed here when we didn't have a choice and made something out of nothing. Not for just us, but multiple nationalities and women also. I have no pity for somebody who can't pull themselves up by their own suspenders, build their own home country. I like my plane.
Her suspenders. I like that.
Thank you. All right. All right.
Thank you, Song.
I know that's rare, Brother Song.
I get what Ronald's saying, but
you don't get what I'm saying because your people didn't go through what my people went.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Why see people been getting government handouts since it's so easy. No disrespect to you, it's so easy to pass so many of you guys. Now, by and large, there's a bunch of white people that don't want to touch no government stuff, and they will go build a bunch of businesses from the ground up. Those cats, I have tremendous respect for. But there's a bunch of white people that live in entitlement, and they lead in this government handout hookup, and I deserve, and you should give me, and it's like, what are you talking about? Just go build your life.
we're the number one recipients of welfare.
Agreed. I mean, but you guys are also 5 times bigger than us, so that would be by default, right? I mean, so
I think it's per capita.
Oh yeah, of course, because you're the bigger group. So you're saying percentage wise, you guys? I don't know. Percentage wise, it's us.
No,
No, I think per
Pretty
capita
much.
too. No, I think it's
Song,
in both metrics.
he's right, Song. He's right.
No, no.
Yeah, he's right, Song. He's right. Let him have it.
Yes,
Yes,
in the
sir.
chat, Juan says you want to be accepted by Trump so bad.
Who is Warren talking to saying that?
And he's talking to me.
Oh,
Point to Ronald here is you know, you guys fought just the way these people are fighting. It's
No, we didn't fight. We were subdued into submission. We had no fight because we had nothing.
The civil rights movement in the 1960s.
Wasn't a fight, sir. That was illegal.
There was the same papers demonized the protests the same way they demonize these people right now. It was the same thing.
It was the same thing.
There was similar things happening.
I don't see them getting dog sick on them, hoses turned on them. I don't see them getting unalive. How can that be the same? You can't compare the two.
I meant the papers demonizing you as rioters.
Yeah, but we were more than demonized as rioters. We was unalive. We were jailed. Everything happened to us. Dogs sick on us. Water. Homes burned down.
I'm not saying in that aspect. I'm saying in the aspect.
Every aspect matters.
No, that's true. That's true. I don't disagree.
Jacob, let's not forget that. Yes, most of white tea do run this country, but not everyone benefits off of that. Like Song knows this. I grew up in poverty. I grew up where days I wasn't know if I was going to eat or not, and I literally pulled myself up by my headdress and my boots, making something for myself, and now I make six figures. Yeah, suspenders. And I did it myself. I didn't get help. Yeah, I joined the military, but you know what? Once I got out, I didn't get help. I still figured everything out for myself, like I expect everyone else to be able to do. Just like BLK did themselves, because they had no choice.
I got a girlfriend who has a coworker whose parents were her dad was a child soldier at the Guatemalan fascist movement. So yeah, these people are not just they're not just pulling themselves up by the bootstraps. They're fleeing the nightmare conflicts that we.
But that's my point,
ignited
Jacob.
in their
We could not flee. Where would we go? We had nowhere to go. We had to stand and build.
Initially,
let's go across the border. It's a better life over there.
Okay,
what about that choice?
What about the slaves who escaped to and joined the indigenous people? And what about that?
Where were the indigenous people?
The indigenous people, when the colonizers,
where were the indigenous people?
The slaves would escape.
Where were the indigenous people?
In America, they were
exactly. So, like I said, he had nowhere to go. Nowhere to go.
But you would join the indigenous. You would leave the settler society and join the indigenous people. So would white people.
You are being silly, Jacob.
Jacob, do you have any idea what life was like for BLK with my tribes? Do you have any idea what it was like?
They had Slavs.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. No, I did. Okay. I know that. That was the only reason they were allowed to exist as a state, because they had slaves.
So you saying that was different?
It was a lot different than what the whites were doing.
Oh man. Slavery is making it look good.
Yeah, there's different degrees of it though.
There's no difference. Freedom is freedom. Slavery is slavery. There's no different degrees.
The main reason Native Americans even did it, my tribes, they did it because they understood what BLK was going through. But unfortunately, because of slavery, the only way we can help out BLK was to, quote unquote, have them as sloths, but we treated them as our own. We didn't treat them like YT did.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And you got to remember, we were not just a free man walking around throwing rocks and kicking dirt. We was property. We were owned.
Yeah, I know.
So where was it to go? We had nowhere to go.
I don't understand the importance of that.
That's like I said, you will never understand.
Yeah, maybe, but these people are leaving their homelands to come to the nation that took their resources, destabilized their country, and then we complain about more labor coming here.
Jacob, you're literally talking about the exception to the rule. So basically, yeah, there are people that are doing that. You're absolutely right. But unfortunately, there's more people that are doing it with impure thoughts. And like basically, they're doing it with the wrong reasons. Exception to the rule. Yeah, there are some, but most are not doing it for that reason.
Well, if you look at what NAFTA did to Mexico, 3 million farmers off their land. Yeah, millions of people have been affected by our destabilization of this hemisphere.
I'm confused, bro. I feel like I don't know where we're going at this point. And again, I still said the same thing about the numbers about people and YT people in America make up 60% of the population, and they only make up 43%. We're talking about percentage of welfare. People make up 13%. But we have 26% of wealth. That's 2 times more than our population.
So they have the flag.
We're talking about the flag, brother.
So now we're going back to the flag, but I was just addressing what we said earlier when he made a statement. I was just saying it's not true.
Where you at? You
we can go back. We went 7 places just now, but that's cool. I agree. Let's go back to the flag.
Well, I was explaining the difference between us and people coming over here illegally.
Got you.
You know, the illegal thing is kind of weird too, because these people carry DNA. The majority of their DNA is indigenous to this continent.
So when the guy's climbing through your window, right? He went to high school prom with your godbrother and sister, and he kind of, not catching one. Yeah, okay.
And do you not think, Jacob, a lot of BLK people do not have indigenous blood?
No, I went to I saw Little Richard, man. He told me all about it.
Yeah, most of the BLK people in America, phenotypes are very different than the Africans. Very different. And all phenotypes, but by far line up with the native people that lived here.
Marcus, are you seeing this TikTok? Song's teacup and still talking, and Jacob is muted and still talking. TikTok is screwing up.
Yeah, because I've been trying to see who's in the chat, and I can't see is twirling around. I've been trying to I can't bring nobody up. TikTok is all twisted up tonight. I don't know what's going on with TikTok.
For me, TikTok is not for me.
Can't see you guys. Start talking.
They both look muted. You can still hear them talk.
Yeah, and Song, he looks like he's teacup, but yeah, we could hear him talk. And Cowboy look muted. Jacob look muted. I don't know what's going on with TikTok.
Yeah, I gotta go. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, Jacob, you have a good one. And we here
every
every night.
somebody, but smoking that broccoli hard.
Oh wow!
Well, at least Newbie Nihisi became the 48th fan in the fan club. I know I butchered that name.
Yeah.
Marcus had 100,000 likes. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Juan said now it's an echo chamber again.
Yeah. In what way?
And Fahima.
Yeah, well, you definitely don't know this.
Fahima had the 49th, is the 49th fan in the fan club.
All right.
I don't think you're gonna get too many BLK people okay with the flag being desecrated. From what I can't agree with all the prices we pay to help build the nation, and knowing that we wouldn't be able to do nothing like that for a couple hundred years, nor would we in most cases. We want to go after the system, not stuff like that. It's like what is the purpose of tearing
John, the creator, just stated something's going on with TikTok, man. He can't bring anybody up. Not that he don't want to, but it won't allow him to.
Yeah, it won't let me bring nobody up. So everybody that's up here is up here. And it won't even, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
The question was asked: Why does everybody care what someone does to the flag? Really?
You know, I think we broke TikTok tonight because we started out. Didn't we start out with like 200 people in the first
Yes, sir.
15,
We
20
did.
minutes? Man, and that's a
Well,
record.
that's like Michael Jackson in the Pepsi commercial.
Yeah, that's a record right there. Yeah.
Because you came in talking about this, I bet.
Yeah. And then they would.
He obviously knew what he was doing. He knew he was going to get these YT people folks.
Sniper Dave says they won't talk about
crazy right now.
Sniper Dave said they won't talk about BLM burning it. Yes, we've already discussed that earlier. But what do you want us to say about BLM burning flags?
Exactly. It's a freedom of speech. Anybody can do anything to the flag. That's what Juan say. You try that. You keep thinking that, Juan.
Well, we with you. BLM during that protest, they did burn flags. With disrespect.
Agreed. This is the point that I'm making. Still comes back to this. Still, we had nothing to do with these things. Still find a way to talk about what we need. We have been disrespected by this flag, and then we still continue to be disrespected by this flag.
I agree with McBride.
Yeah, that is interesting that you said that, Mr.
Hey,
McBride.
Marcus, go ahead and try to bring somebody up now. I think we may be okay.
That is interesting that you said that. No, it's still twirling. It's still twirling. Yeah, we have it's still some type of way it comes back to us.
It's the point, man. It's nothing to do with us, but either bringing BLM or something associated with BLM people.
Yeah.
Like this flag has nothing but disrespect us and continues to.
And Sniper Dave says, I'm Mexican. Congratulations, brothers. Nobody hating on you because you're Mexican.
Right. Nobody said anything against y'all at no point in time. Wow.
So what the consensus is? YTV wanted to be okay for them to do whatever they want to the flag. Is that what they're saying?
They said,
who has the right to be here? YT people or the immigrants?
The immigrants. They said they're not illegal, they're undocumented, and they have a right to be here. They demand all the rights that they want. And another guy came up and said how they want other panels just denigrating us. And another person,
people.
Yeah, they were talking about BLK people heavy.
What do we have to do with this?
I don't know, but
apparently everything, because like McBride said, all the conversations come back to us.
Exactly
what we did wrong.
But we continue to defend this flag. Come on, man. Keeps coming back to us, and we have nothing to do with it. This flag has everything to do with how we have been held down in this country. All comes back to us. We have nothing to do with it. This is amazing to me. Like, I keep seeing these comments like BLM, BLM. BLM wasn't there today. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. So what does it have to do with us?
It's a
It's
good
just
thing.
how this flag has treated us in this country.
It's a good thing I went downtown today, because I'd have had my phone out. I would have been showing y'all footage of what I recorded. I would have been talking to people. People probably would have got hostile with me. Yeah, it's a good thing I went down there.
And Pink Rebel Fizzer says, for years they have said we are heading for civil war. One, which is already over. Agree. Oh, I agree. U.S. citizens illegals. No, it's not U.S. citizens versus illegal. It's the illegals versus the U.S. government. The citizens have nothing to do with that. We can only express our opinion.
Blossom is saying, you're saying it's undocumented immigrants and it's literally the Americans rioting. I don't know who it is. I know it's all in the name of the immigrants. BLK has nothing to do with it. It's just a stab, poke in the back, since we believe with BLK doing BLK. Okay, 60 said that. He also said it's grainy. All right. Well, uh, yeah, and it's not necessarily. It's the way I disagree with. I don't stand with them. I don't see the need to stand with them, and I say that because of the way they act. When we help them get over here, the way they acted towards us, they turn their nose up towards us. So okay, you wanted to amalgamate it and assimilate over into the supremacy structure, and now the supremacy structure and turned against you, and you want to look back over this way. No, go ahead, do your thing, march your march, do your thing. Don't come to my door trying to tear nothing up, because it'll be a problem, but other than that, do your thing. Yeah.
Hey, and song. You can use that. Pull yourself up by your suspenders. It's not copyrighted.
Appreciate that, bro. Good song.
McBride. Yeah, cowboy.
Hey, McBride, don't do disrespect baby Malcolm now.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So, Kevin, that's really close to it.
That reminds me,
Oh my gosh.
I gotta catch up on my.
Myself, my spender.
I think I like that better than Bootstraps.
No, you can't touch country songs now.
Songs, Cowboy, I got you. I'll write a song called Suspenders.
Cowboy look like he teacup. Do y'all see what I see? It look like Cowboy teacup.
It's like what?
Yeah. He looks teacup, but he's still talking.
But he's able to talk. Okay. See, I told you that's we broke TikTok tonight. They're not giving us our proper
It's
due.
about time to go, ain't it? You about to give him the Mr. Rogers joint, right?
Yeah, all Marcus got to do is put on the sweater.
In a minute, we almost there.
It's really.
I dropped you a bomb. It's just going to be called Suspenders.
I'm with that. Suspenders. I put Mike McBride's face on the with a cowboy hat on it. I have enough issues.
It's definitely been a lively tonight.
It was.
Hopefully, Latinos that can hear us, there is nothing against you guys. We hate nobody. We don't hold ill will on you guys or anything. We're just voicing our opinion on what we think about illegal people coming in the country. And it's not just Latinos, it's Africans, it's Asians, types of people coming here. But who the government chooses to and deport, there's nothing on us.
Agreed.
All right.
You're here.
All right. Yeah, that's well said. Well
I'll
said.
go ahead and step down first.
Who's that? Who said that? Song. All right, my brother.
All right, Song. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. 126,000. Respect to y'all both, man, and your panel.
All right. Thank you. All right. All right. Yeah, we doing things. Yeah.
You ready for me, Marcus?
Yeah, I'm trying to give it that 4 more minutes, that 3 o'clock hour, because
Okay.
yeah. But it would have been nice to do 150 tonight. Maybe one night we'll do 150.
I'll tell you later.
Okay. Yeah, we got 100 people. We could easily get to 150 taps. But you know what? Y'all being here, I do appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Everybody, they talk. Said that. What you say? Sniper Dave.
Sniper Dave talk stuff and they play innocent.
Sniper Dave.
Exactly what's on my mind. I don't care if you don't like it or not. There's no reason to dislike anybody.
Sniper Dave is sniping. Okay, Sniper Dave.
Earlier, they were saying about Ronald, about you taking Latinos, and you come out and saying that.
I said nothing bad about Latinos.
Yeah, nobody said nothing bad about Latino. Now, a couple people did come on and say, and talk about their experiences.
Diamond is in the chat battling out with Sniper Dave now.
See?
Complaining.
Oh,
yes. Latinos.
See, Diamond.
That sounds like you have a problem.
No, I was talking about the undocumented.
See, Diamond.
Never said Latino.
Diamond a rider. All right, Diamond. Good stuff. Yeah, nobody said nothing. People talked about their particular experience.
Last advantage didn't even put in here for his because we know the truth. Watch the tonight. Awesome. I know who comes and goes. You haven't been in here long. Hear me say anything.
Ronald was the most quiet one in the line tonight.
Yeah.
Exactly, I was. Until I had to go on my rant. I have legal friends that are Hispanic. I do too. Diamond.
Yeah.
They're not going to believe you because they already put you as one of the bad guys.
Yeah. Diamond, it's all good. You don't have to justify. They know. Your friends know. People just get a little sensitive. That's all. It's all right. Just get a little sensitive.
Here legally, be a good citizen. That's it.
Yeah.
Lori says legals love legal. Well, the main thing is, if everybody did what they're supposed to be doing, they wouldn't have this problem right here.
Exactly.
So if you had a friend that is legal, you would hate them if they was illegal beforehand. Like I said earlier, just a couple of minutes ago, but you don't like to listen, you like to assume. I said I don't have a reason to hate anybody. Anybody, legal or illegal, hate no one. Not even you for assuming how I feel.
Oh no, Ronald, I saw you mean mugging that cowboy hat.
Well, I hate cowboy hats. That's the only thing.
Y'all people, I can't even. TikTok is.
You're going by my actions. Just talking. What actions?
Hey, Ronald, I didn't know you were up there in that live when all making movements.
I know, right?
All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, why? Yeah, TikTok is playing us. Why? Why TikTok? I'm about to complain to I'm about to reach out to my agency.
The hate the New Testament. See, Marcus, you gotta quit making people believe what
I don't know how I do that. How do I do
only
that?
Sweet. Ronald,
Thank you. Thank you.
we had one guy there. Oh, if this was this and this was that. What are you talking about?
Blossom. Oh yeah, you're MAGA. It shows. How you gonna tell me what I am? How you gonna tell me what I am? I'm telling you.
She ain't beefing with me. I think she's talking about me.
Oh, she
When
beefing
you
with me?
blame Marcus, it's his fault.
Oh man.
see, this is what I don't understand. Like, reading this chat. Like, everyone wants to, like, blame, one person here, one person here. Why can't we just try to hope best for our president? Why want our president hell? It's running our country. It's nothing to do with MAGA. It's nothing to do with the left or the right. I serve my country. Ronald served his country. We are pro-America. We want our president to succeed. It doesn't matter who's up there running the country. We want him to succeed.
Yes, I served my country faithfully. I got an honorable discharge. I retired. I want what's best for this country.
Okay, we about ready now.
Well, you let me know, Mr. Marcus, and I'm on it.
Yes, sir. We ready, my brother. Can we get some stuff?
Oh, well, folks, this has been a very exciting, interesting night, to say the least. And I want to reiterate again, it's all love. We don't hate nobody. We just like what we like. And we're just sharing our opinion, just like you guys are sharing your opinion. And hopefully none of you guys felt disrespected in any way. If you do, we do apologize for that. But anyway, I'm getting ready to give some stats here. This is by the hour, most amount of people that we've had in here during that hour. And the first hour was a doozy. 253 people. Second hour, 171. Third hour, 141. The fourth hour, which is the present hour we're in now, we had a grand total of 123 total. Okay, and the likes go, you guys were fantastic. We exceeded it early. We were a little more than halfway through, and you guys pushed us over the top. I appreciate that. The thing I appreciate most is you guys sharing your time, your valuable time with us. That we appreciate above all else. Your time. We're here at 11 o'clock every night, 11 o'clock p.m. Central. The likes, we ended up with 132.5K. But like I said, folks, thank you for giving us your time. Please come back and see us any other time. Share your remarks with us. We don't hate. We're not blocking you, all of that, because you got a difference of opinion with us. Come back, share those difference of opinions or share those that you agree with us. We appreciate all of them. And I'm going to send you to the live creator. It's on you, Marcus.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right, y'all. All right, Mr. Cowboy, you have a good evening, brother.
This boy, shake yes.
Pleasure. Pleasure. See you guys tomorrow.
Yes, sir, my brother.
All right, Mr. McBride.
Mr. McBride, have a good night, brother. Good
All
day.
right. Yes, sir. It's all
All right.
love. Yes, sir. All right.
All right. Panel in chat, good night. Marcus, have a good night.
All right. You too, my brother. All right. Cheshire Cat and everybody else, good night, good night, good night. And I will see you guys tonight at 11 p.m. Central. Love you all. TikTok is full of fucking shit, man. 73 followers. Hey, man.
Man, 7188. Not fucking pay.
I know I think we doing more than that. TikTok is, I don't know if they
Well, I
restricting
think
us.
we too.